What's up and what's going on, everybody? We appreciate all of you that are here already. We see some of you guys already down in the chat having conversations, and that is something, again, we appreciate so very much. It's always crazy every single time, every week that we get on here, and we see people waiting in the chat, people having conversations in the chat. The likes that we've already got 10 likes. We got 27 people in here. So like I said, we appreciate it. It's
our first live stream. It was like, oh my god, there's 3 people after we've streamed for 2 hours. Like,
yeah. What's up? So I'm gonna go ahead and say shout out to our guys over at Spoiler Kings. Appreciate you guys being here. I am nobody. Appreciate you being here. Rohan, appreciate you. Perp Minded, appreciate you. And Ashera, as always, bro, we appreciate you. So we appreciate everybody being here.
Asher always comes in here ready to talk some shit. He's ready to get down to business.
So before we get into anything, as I always say, if you are new here, would like to join our Discord, you can join that link down below. Should be down below. It might not be in the bio, but it's going to get put in the chat. So if you want to join the Discord, you can hit that link down there in the chat. You can send us topics that you feel we should be talking about throughout the week. Like I said, we do go live now Monday through Friday, so we'll be live with you again tomorrow. So we'll be going live with you guys. So if there's ever a question that you want to hear, or a question that you have, or a topic you want to hear us discuss, please send that in and we will discuss that on the show. There are things that we are going to get into today. The main topic overall, of course, is going to be the Wakanda Forever, T'Challa, and just that entire shit show. Because today I can articulate myself. Today I'm not still processing the film and mowing over my feelings. I got time today. Today I got time. And today I have a lot.
Well, we've also seen, a lot of ignorant arguments come about on the internet right now, and a lot of people, there's your standard fans that just, it was a good movie, I liked the movie, whatever, and they go on about it. But then there's some people making really, again, ignorant comments. We're seeing that.
Oh my God.
A lot of the comments that we had gone back and forth with leading up to this movie are now kind of bubbling to the surface, and it's getting, I don't know, some of it's getting real hateful too. Like,
oh no, it's
real hateful.
It is getting extremely. But we talked about this. We said how ugly. I said 2 days prior, before we went to see Wakanda Forever, that the divisiveness between this film, how divided the fandom was going to be after. I said this. I called this, and the reason the reason it's so divided is because, again, which we're going to get into, but the conversations around Wakanda Forever are showing a lack of intelligence, a lack of education. And I'm not just talking, I'm more so talking about my own community, really. I'm talking about black people within our community. And I post this on Twitter, I hate having the conversations like with other black folks like, I'm more black than you. I hate those conversations, but in the same breath, let me put it this way. Somebody posted on Twitter, I don't remember who said this, but commented on one of the posts I was tagged in and said, you have to remember, not every slave wanted to be freed. And I said, woo, shit. If that ain't the motherfucking truth, because not every slave want, and I'm not calling anybody slaves out there, but you're slave-minded. That's what you are. You're out there being slave-minded. You are bowing to a hierarchy, I guess, of power and you're being so submissive to whatever they say without, again, so many black folks that don't read comics or whatever that were introduced to the character of T'Challa back in 2018 only know the character from 2018, so they only know Chad. So when you come in and you're saying like, oh, Chadwick is this character or this character this or this character that, or oh my gosh, that opening scene was so moving. It was so, if you were moved, if you were anything other than disgusted by that opening scene, we have a much wider conversation to be having outside of Wakanda Forever.
Right. Well, see, yeah, and that's I can't obviously get into the cultural community side of that argument, but I can actually tell you from, there's, again, a lot of people, I can go with specifically white people who watch this and they're like, haha, cool, cool end of the phase, cool movie, whatever, wow, that was, okay, and they don't think, two thoughts about it, right? But it's, or the bigger issue that I notice is they don't want to offend, right?
Oh, like, gosh, yes,
so that's a big thing to me is there are a lot of white people that will be like, oh, well, black people made this for black people, therefore all black people like it and it's good, right? But it's like, no, I can watch a film and say, didn't fucking work for me. Here's reasons 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 why, right? Mm-hmm. And you telling me, you can say you're not black, so you don't understand certain cultural depth to it, right? But I can still be like, doesn't mean I liked the film. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. I can say, hey, this is a bad film, and I'm not saying F you, the black community. I'm just saying, hey, I have issues with this film. But I see a lot of people just bowing down and going, ha, well, you got T'Challa Jr., you got this, you got that. And again, we'll have a further discussion, but I'm just seeing a lot of
ignorance.
Ignorance is the main thing I was going for. I mean,
that's it. It's ignorance. It is pure, unadulterated ignorance, bro. It's just ignorant, the conversations that are out there. And I'm going to read some of the comments because there's like, there have been people posting things like websites that'll post on their Facebook pages, post like a picture from the film or something like that, or maybe the film's poster. But the comments under the picture, fuck the picture, because I'd give a fuck about any of the advertisement for Wakanda Forever.
Right.
Fuck the picture, fuck the commercials, fuck the posters, fuck all. It's the conversation that is baffling to me. But also at the same time, there are a lot of people out there that are on the side of Recast that are like, after I saw this, I'm starting to question.
Right.
Did they make the right decision?
Yeah. And I mean, there's just a whole plethora of and this is the last thing I'm going to say because I want to get into more when we fully discuss it. But like, okay, the whole scene surrounding T'Challa Jr., right? To me, a story is to tell a full narrative, right? And the protagonist of this movie was Shuri, right? Mm-hmm. Her dealing with her grief, her anger, her rage, this and that, right? So she's sitting on the beach, and what they're trying to make you do, but the movie was so fucking negative that her positive is more like her kind of wallowing, it's acceptance, it's somber grief, right? But then to immediately have your high point, not your protagonist, but a new character that comes out of nowhere, an ass pull that is a recast and is supposed to fix all of her, oh, I'm great now, even though all my family's dead and my village was beat to shit. Oh, everything's perfect because there's this character, like that casting. That's not good storytelling to me. There was no... The growth and depth of Shuri wasn't shown for how much the movie focused on her going downhill. There wasn't enough uphill for me. Instead, it was just, oh, here's TJ at the end and everything's okay. Everyone can sing a happy song and go the fuck home.
Right.
And give us your $1 billion fucking dollars. Like, right. It was, I just, narrative points like that I don't agree with at all. I think it's an ass pull and a way to bait people into seeing a highly controversial film.
Yeah, and this is the last thing I'll say about it, because we do have two other topics before we get into Wakanda Forever, the stuff like that. But the last thing I'll say about it before we move on is, this is not to the conversation out there that, oh, you guys don't want to see black women, or the conversation out there that, oh, this is misogynistic. It's none of those things, bro. I could have taken Shuri as Black Panther, even though I'm going to get into it, but after the first scene, I was done. I was out. I was completely out of the film. There was nothing that they could have done besides literally T'Challa walking on the screen that would have gotten me back in. Namor didn't get me back in it. Talokan didn't get me back in it. The geopolitical situations going on between Wakanda and the UN didn't get me back in it.
Ross sure as fuck didn't get you back in it.
Yeah, Ross didn't get me back in it. Angela Bassett, although she was fucking phenomenal, didn't get me back in it. She was phenomenal. Mm-hmm. Phenomenal, but didn't get me back in it. And so with what I was saying with that was, if you expected me, again, not on any misogynistic or anti-girl power shit, expected me to truly believe Shuri as the Black Panther, you failed. Even though I was completely out of the film, I didn't care anymore.
Right.
You failed.
But see, to me, what that is as well is it's using... So feminism is an important thing, right? But you're using a word without understanding its meaning, right? So for those who've been watching the show and have been with us this whole time, we rocked with Ms. Marvel. The whole fucking series. We rocked with She-Hulk. We've been down with anything Marvel's put in front of us. And not once has our complaint been a gender-specific issue. Like, I mean, we didn't complain about shit about Ms. Marvel, but when She-Hulk, there was complaint, but it was in the fucking poor writing. The actress was great. She was funny. The writing sucked, right? But here's the deal. We didn't say, oh, we weren't one of these incels who were like, you can't have women heroes, da-da-da-da-da. But to trivialize our argument and say, hey, we like this character. Why the fuck are you killing him? And then we go into furthering our argument to hit us with the, oh, well, you just don't want to see a woman hero. What the fuck? I've been watching woman hero shows, and I have not complained once.
When people come in the comment section now...
There are people going, it's the MCU. And I'm like, I don't agree with that. We have plenty of male heroes. We do. It is just bringing out and showing off all the different heroes in their catalog, right? But, like... You coming at me and saying, oh, you must hate women because I want to see a character existing on screen, you're trivializing the argument around real people that do hate women and want to limit them.
Yep.
By saying me wanting to see my character on screen translates to I just hate women. Again, we've been rocking with all these MCU shows, and they've majoritively been female, and I'm fine with that.
Right.
I don't give a shit. I don't care what gender or non-gender the hero is. Make the character that I read about. That's
right.
All I give
and I'm gonna be honest with you too. Like I feel I'm the same way, but when it comes to BP, I didn't need Suri right now. I didn't need her to be BP. One, we weren't done with T'Challa being BP. Don't come and hit me with the ignorance. Oh, well, Chadwick passed. I'm aware.
That's the thing, bro. That's the best one. Do you know Chadwick died?
Yeah, 2 years ago. I'm aware.
We're fully aware that the man passed.
I'm aware that he passed. I don't need you to remind me of something that I already grieved about, that Marvel tried to kick me in the dick and make me grieve. Well, I did grieve again. You know, as I said, actually, let's go ahead and get into the other two topics before I even go too hard on this, because I do have things that I want to say. But before I even go in on this, one of the first topics we're going to talk about first is Margot Robbie. So some of you might know, for a while we've heard that Margot Robbie was going to be coming in and that she was going to be helming the new Pirates of the Caribbean spinoff. This is what CBR had to say. Let me go ahead and pull what CBR had to say for you guys here. Let me pull that over.
I can't with this one, man.
So, CBR said, in an interview with Vanity Fair, Robbie updated the status of her replacing Johnny Depp in the Pirates of the Caribbean spinoff. We had an idea and we were developing it for a while ages ago to have more of a female lead. Not totally a female lead, but just a different kind of story, which we thought would have been really cool, but I guess they don't want to do it. She said, Birds of Prey writer Christina Hodson was also attached to the canceled film. So this was going to be a reboot. They haven't yet canceled the reboot. However, this version was just going to involve Margot Robbie. Like I said, personally, I love Margot Robbie. I first was introduced to her in Wolf of Wall Street. And that's one of I love Wolf of Wall Street. I don't know if this is telling about me, but that movie inspires me.
I know it's my number one, bro.
On so many fucking levels. But I really like Margot Robbie. But the backlash, it's not the fact of a reboot. The backlash has come back because you're trying to tell this story. This is what people are saying. This is what the people out there are saying. I don't want to see a Pirates of the Caribbean without Captain Jack Sparrow. I don't want to see this type of film or spinoff without the franchise's main character.
So what, and chat, you can throw this in here too, but I got this for you. So you watch Pirates?
Oh, I love the first three.
What did you watch it for? Shit. What did you watch it for?
Of course. Captain Jack Sparrow, and Johnny Depp.
And?
That's the only and for me. Other than that, for me, Barbossa.
That's what I was getting into here.
Jeffrey Rush's Barbossa is amazing.
But what I'm saying is Barbossa and the cast, the ensemble cast bouncing off of Jack Sparrow. right? Him with his little fucking jar, just, you know, like, yeah. So you go, hey, we're going to make a movie set in the same universe. We're going to take out everything that you all like about it, and we'll see if you still like it.
Right.
This, from the jump, made no fucking sense to me. It blew my mind. They were when they were like, Pirates are rebooting, I was like, because the controversy's over, I was like, is Johnny Depp back? And then it was like, no Johnny Depp spin-off series. I fucking exited. I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't want to... That sounds like you want my money.
Yeah.
Because what it is, it has nothing to fucking do with pirates. But you're attaching the name to get my money. And you're not getting it. And that goes right back to our argument with Wakanda Forever of... You took out the thing people want to fucking see. And you just killed everyone and made me watch sad shit.
Right. Yeah. It's interesting because when the conversation first came out about this, there was so many different things said that I forget the chick's name that plays Nebula. Whatever.
Yeah.
Nebula. Her. She was in the running to be cast where Margot is, or I guess maybe be in it with Margot. I'm not sure. But then there was also, they were going to try to do a younger Johnny Depp. Like a younger Captain Jack, rather. I'm sorry. A younger Captain Jack.
Ain't no one.
But here's the thing. Whoever you got to come in and try to do that, they were just going to be trying to mimic Johnny Depp. And now, in the same...
Gillian.
Yes. And in the same conversation, you could say, well, whoever you get in to bring T'Challa, just... No, see, this is different, though. And the reason that this is different is because we've had Jack Sparrow's story told in, 5 films?
I think 5.
Not the same. Not the same at all. And it wasn't just one film where Jack was the star. Jack was the star in every film. Yes, you had your antagonist, whoever it may have been, as in Barbossa in the first film. You had Lord, what's his name in the second one?
Old Davy Jones.
Yeah, you had Davy Jones in At World's End, and he was also in the second one. But this is vastly different. But I find it funny that in this conversation, you can say, well, that's stupid. How are you going to do Pirates of the Caribbean without Jack Sparrow? The same way you just did Wakanda Forever without T'Challa.
Right. Well, see, and that's the main thing, too, is they could make this fucking movie, and I'm sure people could go, people
Oh, it's going to do shit if they did it.
I'm not, because I have no interest in the film. Because you're taking out the things I give a shit about, right? I'm telling you, only because we brought up earlier, my son sent it to me as well, the thing about good film and good story and great character development is, once again, when we saw that Way of the Water trailer, right? They didn't even say this man's name. And in my head, I went, Jake Sully. I just knew his fucking name. Because I'm like, oh, we're back in it. Oh my God, Jake Sully has children now? What? And that makes me want to see something, right? So when I think Pirates, it's fucking Jack. And if he's gone, I'm like, I don't give a shit. I mean, that's the whole point. So no duh, it's dead. You took out and again, like you were saying, so this is a multi-tiered franchise. Multiple movies. It's larger than life, right? This isn't, you did one movie. Like you said, and we're going to pick a different actor.
Right.
I would not feel the same way about the character Jack Sparrow as I do after 5 fucking movies of seeing him perfect this character, right? This is one film.
Exactly.
I mean, the other one is just one film. So that's where I'm torn on that one. But yeah, this one, I'm not in any way surprised that it died.
No. And then having the Birds of Prey writers connected to it does not sell me anymore. Birds of Prey is ass.
I don't get...
Birds of Prey is awful.
I don't get... I almost want Margot Robbie to step out of the DC kind of world for a while.
But she loves playing Harley.
That's true. And she's good at it.
Yeah.
I'll give her that. But it's just... I don't know. She's either not getting good writers or there's no one in the room trying to be like, hey, some shit we need to do here.
Yeah. Yeah. But no, like I said, Jeffrey Rush's, last thing I'll say, Jeffrey Rush's Barbossa, that's outside of Johnny Depp's Captain Jack, that's one of my favorite, if not one of my favorite characters. Like the scene where Elizabeth stabs him on the boat and he goes, best start believing in ghost stories, Miss Turner. You're in one. I was like, bro, that line was brilliantly delivered, and it was perfect because he was already dead. She had no idea. She stabs him. He steps into the moonlight. You best start believing in ghost stories, mister. I'm like, bro, that is fucking like it. So no, I love the first three.
Right.
Love the first three. At World's End, I know it's divisive, but I love At World's End. I think Jack is brilliant in At World's End. But
man, I even got it on the other side because I'm a huge video game nerd, right? And so when I'm playing Kingdom Hearts games and all of a sudden we're jumping into Pirates of the Caribbean, I'm like, oh no, and then Jack rounds the corner and I can fight with him, and I'm like, what?
Yeah.
And then go fight Barbossa, and then you're doing the different things. I'm just like,
yeah, no.
Oh my God, y'all made something so cool and so great, and they're taking everything I want to see out of it.
Well, like I said,
I love the Kraken coming out of the fucking water. Just like, what is going on?
Yeah.
Like, that level piracy is dope.
It's great.
I'm a little biased. I'm a One Piece fan, so, like, I love anything pirate. But, yeah, I don't care to see... I'd rather it be dead where it's at.
Yeah, no, I can't... I can't see them doing a spin-off of Pirates, personally. But, you know, that's just me. But question is, as always, is for you guys. Let us know down below in the comments what you guys think. What are you guys thinking about a spin-off of Pirates of the Caribbean? Are you thinking that Margot Robbie would be a great actress to helm the role of the new, I guess, not Captain Jack, but the new main character in the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise? Or are you like some of the others that's like, that's stupid. How can you do Pirates of the Caribbean without the franchise's main character? Baffling, that conversation. But let us know down below in the comments what you guys are thinking of that. We'll read some of the comments there, and then we'll move to the next topic. The next topic we're going to be talking about is Kevin Feige giving a few details, the first details on Secret Wars. But let's touch on some of those comments.
Everyone's still going crazy.
Let's touch the. I appreciate that, Miss Makiba. Touch that.
Yeah. Of course.
That
So
that super chat first.
Here.
Before you read it, that is so appreciated. I'm going to say that every time. That like it means the world to me that you guys are sending. That you would even send a super chat in just to hear our thoughts on it. So again, much appreciated. Bless you.
Absolutely. No, really appreciating the super chat. It's crazy that we've got to a place where we can even.
Yeah,
receive
can
something
say,
like that.
Hey, read that super chat.
But it's also crazy that people think that we have good enough opinions that they want to do it. But yes, okay. So it says Netflix doc, Is That Black Enough for You? Includes Harry Belafonte talking about Belafonte. I'm gonna mess up any name of that's got more than 2 syllables. Talking about how mainstream held up Sidney Poitier.
Sidney Poitier.
Yeah, Poitier, thank you. Like they're doing Chad as a 1-to-1 actor.
Yeah, exactly. That's the same thing. Yeah, it's the same.
It's trying to pronounce things I can't.
It's the same thing. You know, Harry Belafonte saying that same thing about Portier. The same things that they're doing to Chadwick. You know, trying to immortalize him as if he was. It's all strange. I think any time that we start having those conversations where you start again, like Chadwick said, it's debilitating. It's frightening. It pins us against one another.
I mean, just think about it. Like I'll go on ahead and hit this for you here, Miss Makiba, as well. Like. Imagine if, we all know the story, right, of how the Black Panther came to be in the comics, or how the comics came to be. Imagine if they made 3 issues of Black Panther, and everyone's really liking it, and these young black kids who've never had a hero really like it, and then he just fucking dies in the 4th issue, and they're like, oh, that's all you get, because the character's immortalized.
Right.
No, there's a reason these stories are told. It goes back to... Oh my God, I can go on forever that in olden times there was a storyteller for a fucking reason. You tell these stories so people can learn from them, right? You tell these stories to inspire people, to bring people together. If you kill him, his stories stop there.
Right.
Oh, well, someone else can pick up... It's not the same thing. They're not the same person. They will not have the same reaction to things. Shuri will not, cannot, and should not ever... make the same decisions T'Challa does. She's a different character. It just doesn't fucking work the same way. Doesn't make sense. No. Now, real quick, I'm going to hit the Pirates comments because we keep jumping back. Let's see here. Oscar saying, y'all sleeping on the boy Orlando Bloom.
True.
I mean,
true,
no,
Oscar.
he's good.
True, because Orlando Bloom in in those films as William Turner was great. He really was. He was really him and Elizabeth. Him and that's not Natalie Portman. That's not Natalie Portman. Natalie Portman's Padme.
No.
I forget her name. Kristen Knight.
No.
It is Kristen Knight, I believe. I believe it's Kristen Knight. Him and Kristen Knight. Is it her? Keira Knightley.
Don't. Yeah, Keira Knightley.
Keira Knightley.
Look at that.
Him and Keira Knightley had me thinking in second grade, because that movie came out when I was in second grade. Had me thinking in second grade that they were really in love.
Yeah.
And I had the biggest crush on Kristen Knightley.
Starts as like a love story, and then it's like, nope, I'm Jack Sparrow. This is my fucking story now.
Bro, and
but alright, so yeah, Andre Ware said, I love Pirates of the Caribbean. They did well because of Jack Sparrow.
Yes, sir.
And then Clevis17 said, nah, I'm good on Margot Robbie. I love her as an actress. I love her. She is an A-list leading woman.
I think she's great. I don't want to see her in a reboot of Pirates of the Caribbean.
Just I didn't care about much of her DC work.
Like with her most recent, not her fault, but with her most recent films that she's been in that have not been great, I would hate for her to have another bomb of a film.
Saying. I want her to jump into more like deep character acting on like The Wolf of Wall Street did.
Right.
Chad Kinsler, thank you so much for the super chat. This shit is dope, man. It's so cool to see it. We greatly appreciate it. If you have something you want us to, talk about or hit on, let me know. I greatly appreciate that. These super chats are wild, and it means the world to us. Let's see here. And then, everyone's still going on Wakanda Forever. So, I think everyone's in agreement on that one. Not for the Margot Robbie reboot.
Yeah.
And Jack Sparrow, the franchise's main character, made the show. What are you looking? What are you doing?
I was looking at who someone was. I was trying to figure out who someone was. So yeah. So we'll move on here. And the next topic before we get to the Wakanda stuff is going to be Kevin Feige again coming out and giving a few details on, well, not details, but kind of just talking a little on Secret Wars. Now, as you know, before D23, we really had no incoming news for Secret Wars, but this part of the news, has two different parts to it. And this is coming from Paul over at Heavy Spoilers, but let me just read this first here. Let me get back to that. Sorry. This one says, according to a new rumor shared by Heavy Spoilers, Marvel Studios president Kevin Feige is planning for Avengers Secret Wars to be the biggest movie of all time. We've talked about that, of course. It has to be. It has to be. With more major characters than even Avengers Endgame. The MCU boss is reportedly gunning for Secret Wars to feature almost all the major characters from the current and past franchises in some capacity. Yes. Feige allegedly even wants to recreate Endgame's portal moments, but without the limit of just MCU characters. This time bringing together multiple Marvel franchises from across the multiverse. X-Men, Fantastic Four, etc. Now, these are things that we've talked about. We actually kind of talked about this last week, I believe, on one of the streams. I think it was me, Kellen, and Q. We talked about it, and it was, I don't know how you tell some of these stories without these characters. Let me rewind that. I don't know how you tell Secret Wars without some of these characters, because as it stands, we have until 2026 before Secret Wars, and that is 3 years starting, in a month. In a month, we'll hit that 2023 time. So that'll be 3 years from that time. And with that being 3 years from that time, and already having an MCU slate with shows and projects that are coming out, there's no Molecule Man show. There's no, the X-Men aren't rumored to come in properly until like Phase 6, Phase 5, really. Spread out as far. I think the X-Men are Phase 6, but mutants, showing certain mutants, I think is Phase 5. What they're going to do for Phase 5, but we haven't had, there's a lot of key pieces, like T'Challa, there's a lot of key pieces for Secret Wars that you don't have anymore, that you are not that you just don't have anymore, that you haven't even introduced. So, but Kevin, if you take it back to what Kevin Feige said, this was, I want to say maybe about a month and a half ago, maybe he said this, where he was talking about, he's always wanted, it's been his dream. If you don't know, Feige got his start on the X-Men films. He started on the X-Men films. He's always been with Marvel, but he got his start on the X-Men films. And with that start, he got to know Hugh. As you know, if you've been here a while, you saw during the Deadpool announcements, I showed the interview of Hugh Jackman praising Kevin Feige, saying that this man knows his stuff. That this is not just a man in a suit. If he's in a suit, it's a suit with a cape on it because he knows his stuff. Mm-hmm. And Feige has always said, I want to have Tobey Maguire, Hugh Jackman, all those guys on one screen representing the Marvel Universe. Mm-hmm. I've said since day one of talking about Secret Wars, I've been singing Secret Wars, I think since we started this channel, before it was even announced. I said, that's where we're going. We're moving to Secret Wars. I mean, where else could we be going? Secret Wars, all those, all those things. And the only way that Secret Wars is properly told is through, even though Marvel has not come out and given anything specific, there are unspoken promises. There are unspoken promises that if they don't deliver to the fandom will riot about it.
Well, let me just hit you on this one, because they told Civil War and Endgame.
Yes, but this,
or in the Infinity War saga, and it wasn't. I mean, that's not panel for panel the comic.
No,
they changed many things, and the average fan that made them the most money, they don't know the difference. No. They don't care about the difference.
They don't know the difference, and that is true what you said about Civil War, Infinity Game, and Endgame. But this, I'm not saying it needs to be comic. It doesn't have to be comic accurate, but the unspoken promises of cameos is what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah.
I'm expecting to see Andrew Garfield. I am. I'm expecting to see Wesley Snipes. I'm expecting to see the OG Fantastic Four. Not just them. We're supposed to be seeing them in Deadpool 3 anyway. So I'm expecting to see certain things. There are certain heroes. Yeah, those are certain things I'm expecting. Now, if you're not going to do the whole, Kingdoms thing, and from the leak that I'm going to get into in just a second, Doctor Doom is not going to have the major role like that, and these are kind of things we've kind of suspected. So if you don't want to do it exactly the way that Hickman's Secret Wars goes, because from the leak that I'm going to get into in just a second, it looks like they're going more toward Avengers Forever anyway. They're going to be going toward that line. They're going to be pulling things from Hickman's Secret Wars and Avengers Forever, because Avengers Forever, as you know, deals heavily with who? Kang. So they have to have some type of Kang story in there for all this to make sense. But there are unspoken promises for Secret Wars for sure. But the scene, like the scene that they name there is going to be, having. He wants to have like at the end of Endgame, where you have the portals and you have all your different heroes, like your Wesley Snipes, your Ben Affleck, Daredevil. We might even see Chris Evans back as the Human Torch. Because while he's not on screen as Cap, you can put him on screen as the Human Torch, or even you can put them both of them together. So that is something that Kevin Feige is definitely wanting. What are your thoughts on some of the unspoken promises of cameos?
Well, I mean, yeah, that's a big one. That's a big one for me. But I also think, I would start laughing at you if you don't. You have to pull in the Fantastic Four. Mm-hmm. But more importantly, and yes, I mean more importantly, you need the X-Men in the MCU.
Yeah.
And here's my reason for saying that. We lost Cap. Okay? We lost, wow, why am I blanking here? We lost Tony, we lost Cap. Hulk's been just ruined, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. Doctor Strange is so-so. Thor, after that last one, I don't know what's going on, right? So we're losing all of our popular characters, or they're just fumbling the bag on them, right? And I think that's more the issue with them bringing in some of the characters they have now is they're not the same quality to us, right? They're not as important. So you go for the biggest thing in Marvel. You bring in the X-Men. They have to get them in here, or they're just stupid and wasting money. Like, they have to. But as far as a lot of these unspoken cameos go, it would be dope if they get it right. Because I think we talked on the phone months ago about this. I really think
they do get this right, though.
Yeah, well, we talked on the phone months ago about this, where I'm like, I don't want it to be so fan service that your movie sucks. This is going to need to be a 3-parter. Like, this is going to need you.
Oh, I've said that too.
Yeah, I don't care how many movies this is. I don't care how long this takes.
It's not possible to tell Secret Wars.
But I don't want them to be like, here's one, 3.5-hour movie, and 2.5 hours worth of it is just oh hey, look, it's me from that one movie. Oh hey, look, it's the original Daredevil. Oh hey, I don't want to see that. But I do want to see the cameos done properly. And with the story of Secret Wars, there's room for that.
Right.
There absolutely is. They just need to do it right.
Right. And, so it's looking, like I said, it's looking like this is going to be more akin to Avengers Forever rather than... I mean, they're still going to be pulling from Hickman's Secret Wars because they did, get the rights to use the name Secret Wars along with Kang Dynasty, along with the Eternity Saga, and et cetera, et cetera. So it looks like they're also going to be trying to pull from Avengers Forever. And in that line, you've got Kang going around trying to assemble a multiversal Avengers team so that he can take out Immortus, a future version of himself, Immortus. So right. Could we might even be possibly seeing where it's Kang at on the King of Battle World, if they still do it that right. way. God Emperor Kang, I guess. I don't know if they do it that way, but it's going to be Immortus that that you're going after. That he's going to be, and honestly, when you think about the whole Secret Wars comic in general. Secret Wars comic reminds me so much. Sometimes it gives me those Game of Thrones, House of Dragon vibes. And the reason I say that is because once you're on Battle World and it's now it's Doom. Doom is God Emperor Doom. Mm-hmm. But there are different kingdoms in Battle World that are ruled by different individuals. And as you see, like, they have no recollection of their prior life to Battle World. Mm-hmm. They don't know. They always think that they've always just been on Battle World, that God Emperor Doom put them there, and that it's him. Except for the ones like Miles Morales, Thanos, the Cabal, those guys that hopped into mm-hmm. that spacecraft right. and were able to survive and blah, 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 end up on Battle World. So I'm wondering if we're even going to see that type of Secret Wars film. Are we going to see a battle world, but in that battle world, are we going to have different kingdoms that's maybe ruled by, I don't know, a Ghost Rider, Nicolas Cage, or I'm not saying I want to see that, but a Tobey Maguire, mm-hmm. Are we going to see different actors from the past that have portrayed different characters coming, or that have even been rumored to portray characters, coming on and being being rulers of different kingdoms on Battle World?
Dude, I'm not going to lie. If I hear someone using some kind of badass line, and I hear vroom, vroom, and yeah. the skull fades and it's just fucking Nicolas Cage, dude, I will throw my popcorn. I will lose my mind in that theater. You're like, they got this motherfucker on Battle World. No. Yeah,
no, it would be. I'm expecting it though. I'm honestly expecting to see Nicolas Cage come back as.
But see, that would be dope. Like the way you're explaining that. See, now we can get into, and this is what I feel like Kevin Feige's brain as a fan of Marvel Comics. I'm sure he's. Shit like that's going on in his head all the time. Oh, yeah. Right?
I'm sure he's been thinking about this so long.
Or again, it's not just everyone jumping in and doing a quick cameo. It's like, what if that fucking Nicolas Cage Ghost Rider is just right? That's him. Right. He rules this.
Right.
Well, what do you mean? Yeah, and then with him are the original casted Elektra. And, just like throw people. They don't have memories. So he rules them. Elektra's his assassin. And then fucking, you've got... I don't know, Beta Ray Bill's his partner. Throw him in there, right? You know what I mean?
Have it's them not like the Thor on Battle World, Thor was a police force. Like, there was multiple Thors that were the police force of Battle World. So yeah, bro. Like, I could see something like that. And I'm sure Feige has been thinking long and hard. I'm sure Secret Wars has been on the mind since Phase 1, honestly. I'm sure they've put... Mm-hmm. Been thinking to themselves, this is where we want to go, and if we do go here, this is what we can do.
Right. I don't think anyone necessarily had because I'm sure there were people that were with Feige and are still a part of his creative team, right? That are like, man, it'd be really cool if this went off so well that we could kind of, get into the like Infinity War. There's so many heroes, we could do that. That'd be really cool. And Kevin Feige over here, big brain as fuck, is like, we will have so much more. You know what I'm saying? Because it is one thing to be like... I'm sure he wanted
that shit for Infinity War.
Right, but I feel like it's almost a me and you dynamic where Kevin Feige is like, oh no, we're doing it.
Yeah.
And that's how you've been with this channel, where you're like, oh no, we're doing it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, this is really great. I'd like to get... Oh, you thought of Plan Z.
Yeah.
And I'm sure Feige from the jump has been like, no, we can...
Oh yeah, I'm sure he has.
We just got to get one movie at a time.
And then according to the leak, that's going on, they're looking to assemble an X-Men team in 616. But what Feige's looking at doing here, and this also has to do with the deal that just got made with Spider-Man, with Sony. We know that Spider-Man Tom Holland has now signed that deal to where he is going to be coming back for Spider-Man 4, 5, and 6. That after Spider-Man 4, they're going to start diving deeper into the symbiote storyline. It's going to be, that's the storyline that they're going to be doing for 5 and 6.
Because that's the story everybody wants.
Yep, that's the story everybody wants. And then, also with that deal, it looks like Marvel's going to get to use Spider-Man, not permanently, but they're going to get to use him quite a bit more than just the things that came out for Spider-Man 4, 5, and 6, Born Again, Secret Wars, and Kang Dynasty. Looks like they're going to get to use him quite a bit more. And not only that, Venom is supposed to be making an MCU. It's going to be brought into the MCU canon proper. Tom Hardy's Venom MCU is going to be brought into the MCU canon proper. These are the things that are out there right now. All this is subject to change. Take it with a grain of salt.
I'm kind of interested in... I don't know how I feel about that one. Tom Hardy's? I don't, because he is already a hero. Like, anti-hero hero. You know what I'm saying? He's already I'll eat a bad guy, but I won't eat a good guy. I kind of want the Venom. The original came out swinging Venom, and then we get to him being more of an anti-hero. I'd like to see the whole beginning of it, but that's just me.
Well,
I just don't see Tom Hardy being like, yeah, let's kill a child who protects his city.
Well, we also don't know what Venom's going to go through in Venom 3.
You're right.
We don't know what that could hold, or if Kevin Feige is involved over there in Sony and helping them figure out the Spider-Verse, whatever ramifications those films have on the MCU, you can damn sure he's got his hand in it. He's making sure that it fits. He's making sure you don't fuck up my canon like you did with that Morbius shit.
Right.
And he's making sure that if we do bring Venom in MCU proper, this film has to give an explanation as to why Venom is the way he is going to be in the MCU canon. Mm-hmm. So if they end up bringing Venom in, I don't know if it would be for, again, I don't think it'd be for the entirety of the MCU moving forward, especially not if you're going to do the symbiote storyline for Spider-Man, and we already know that a piece of the symbiote has been left in the MCU due to from No Way Home and everything. Mm-hmm. So I don't know how exactly they're going to do that, but they want to connect everything. Feige wants to connect everything, so it's just one big multiversal universe. So he wants the Sony shit to canonically connect with the MCU. He wants the Foxverse to connect to the MCU, but just, again, where it all makes sense, to where we're not as fans not just saying, well, that's just in a different universe. No, he wants it to be proper to the MCU, to where you can say, I'm not just my fan head, but no, MCU canon wise, that's just another universe.
Right.
Like the Fox, but at the same time, there's the rumor that and this is not just this rumor. This is not the first time I've heard this. This rumor's kind of been going on around for a while. That Feige wants to bring in the X-Men Fox universe, or bring the Fox universe in and have them not be the X-Men, but have some of them be mainstays, like Fassbender. Fassbender was rumored to be in Multiverse of Madness for the lobotomy scene with Wanda, when Xavier was going to go and say, "Hey, your daughter's psychotic. We need to lobotomize this bitch so she doesn't blow up 838." And Michael Fassbender was going to be the Magneto that they were going to use to show that. I don't think Feige. I know I've seen people saying, "Well, Fassbender's done." Like they're not. I don't think so.
It's also
I don't think there are main 616s.
The best movie franchise, the best paying movie franchise in the world. You kind of get on board.
Yeah.
And especially when you already got on board previously and they're like, hey, come back and do the thing you did for a way bigger paycheck. You're going to fucking take it.
Yeah.
You're going to take it in a heartbeat.
But not only that, it's kind of like we talked about when we had this conversation on the phone. If I'm one of these actors and I've played one of these heroes in the past in Marvel Cinematic Universe, it's like when Charlie Cox talked about how when Kevin Feige called him for Daredevil, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe Kevin Feige was on my phone talking to me about coming back as Daredevil. That, I feel like that's going to be the tone of most of these people. I can't believe Kevin Feige. Like, if I'm an actor, and again, I've played one of these roles, there's no way in fuck I don't come back to what could potentially be the biggest movie ever, and you want me to be one of these stars in it? You want me to be one of the multiversal variants that plays a huge role in what Kang's doing? I'm there. And now, don't get me wrong. Are they going to have to back the money truck up on some of these motherfuckers? Yeah, they're going to have to.
Yeah, but no, I'll back you up on that one by simply saying, there was talks when people were like, oh, we're not going to get all 3 Spider-Mans in one movie.
Oh, yeah.
And Kevin Feige literally
Said,
sat
"Hold
him
my
down on
beer."
the fucking couch and said, hey. And they were in it. That fucking simple.
And let Andrew Garfield
I mean,
say
that's
it.
also
He's
like in
known
Multiverse of
for
Madness.
years.
They were like, oh, are we getting the original Professor X back? I don't know about it. Are we in it? Feige said, hold on, let me... Can I come to your house?
That's
real
why I
quick?
say that the man is the greatest producer of all time.
Well, because he puts the legwork in.
He
And he has
does
an
what
incredible
many,
reputation.
Yeah, he does what many say cannot be done. And when Kevin Feige gets in there and he gets it done, bro. Mm-hmm. Like, so I think that Secret Wars is honestly going to be
huge.
Yeah, I think it's going to be huge.
I mean, this is... I remember... it's a controversial podcast to some people, but when Robert Downey Jr. went on Joe Rogan... Have you seen that interview?
I have seen that.
Go back and rewatch it. I mean, for anyone who hasn't, he literally talked about this where Joe was like,
yeah,
when are you coming back in the suit? And he's like, I don't think I will. And Joe's like, there's nothing bigger in the world than you stepping out in that fucking suit again. And he was like, it would have to make sense. It would have to make sense for me to do it again. La da da. It wouldn't be the same. And who else to go, hey, Tony, it makes fucking sense now, other than Kevin Feige.
Well, not only that, I for people that have said that in the past too, like, oh, like even in that interview, don't let RDJ fool you. If you think he has not if you think Kevin Feige has not spoken to him, has not spoken to Scarlett, has not spoken to Chris Evans, let the rumor tell it, Chris Evans has already signed a deal to come back. If you believe that he has not spoken to any of these people for Secret Wars, you are out of your fucking mind. And if you think... Now, I'm not sitting here saying I'm not saying RDJ has said, oh, yeah, I'm back. He might still need... Like, okay, let me see what's the storyline. What are we doing here? How are you bringing me back? But if you think that he's not going to take the chance to be Tony Stark again, again, what's potentially going to be one of the biggest movies of all time, you're smoking dick.
And Oscar, just to let you know, I know
he's coming
Joe
back.
Rogan's not bad. It's just the podcast seems to be controversial to some people, so I preface things because I don't want to deal with comments.
Yeah, no, I think he's gonna. I think he'll be back for sure. But as always,
I think they'll all be back.
Oh, I think they all will be back. Like that's like, again, as always. Question is for you guys. Let us know below in the comments what you guys are thinking. Are you thinking that, hey, we do see a lot of these OG characters back, like Wesley Snipes' Blade, Ben Affleck's Daredevil, Nicolas Cage's Ghost Rider, the original Fantastic Four with Jessica Alba, Chris Evans, I forget the dude's name that played Mr. Fantastic, but all these guys, so many guys that you could be bringing back. Let us know below in the comments what you guys think, or do you think this is going to be mid? Are you kind of like the Russo brothers where it's like, oh, it's not going to top Endgame? Or do you think this is Secret Wars, bro? Like, Feige's been on this. Let us know down below in the comments what you guys are thinking. What are the
All right,
comments?
So the first thing I'm going to hit is the $10 super chat.
Yes, from Static Fox.
By Static Fox.
Appreciate you so much, bro. My gosh,
it,
thank you so much.
The love is real today. This is fucking awesome. He said, love the channel, y'all. To be honest, the Black Panther movie felt like a paid funeral.
Yes, sir.
Agreed. And at this point, I'm all for rebooting the Black Panther franchise with a new cast and director, since they can't give us they can't give us as fans wants. I think he got cut off there, but yeah, I fully agree. I mean, I don't know about a reboot. That's weird to do it. I don't know how a reboot would work within the MCU. I'm not saying
I see what they're saying there, because this conversation has been this has been an ongoing conversation too. The rebooting the franchise. At first, when I heard the rebooting the franchise, I was like, man, that's a lot of work. That's a lot of things you got to do. You got to go out and get new writers. You got to go out and get a new director. You got to go out and get a new cast. But again, I've seen the disgustingness that came from that first scene. And I know that when I talk Wakanda Forever, that's where I instantly go every time. Because that's the thing that took me out of the fucking film. I was already taken out with the mid-credit scene that I had seen prior to going to sit down in the theater. But when I sat down in the theater, now have we been reading plot leaks and shit for months? Yes, we have. But as I said when I saw the mid-credit scene, it's different reading it and seeing it. And being literally placed in Chadwick Boseman's, at the scene of his death. Now, as I said during our first breakdown of it, our first review of it, 2 years ago, I found out the same way the world found out about Chadwick. Through news outlets, media posts, Facebook shares, whatever. This time, I was literally there. If you've seen Wakanda Forever, or you've sat through that disturbing, uncomfortable, morbidly disgusting opening scene, then you know exactly what I mean when I say I feel as if I was there. So the conversation about rebooting, I was always like, But again, after seeing that shit, and after hearing the cast and things that they've, like Lupita and Winston and Letitia and Ron, get them motherfuckers out. Because they only see one thing, and that's Chadwick. They only, and rightfully so. You have the right to do so because you knew the man. You made a whole ass movie with him. You got to know him on a personal level. You have every right to feel the way that you feel, but you do not have that right to impose those feelings on the Black Panther franchise. Fuck you if you think that they do. I'm sorry, you don't. You don't get to take those hurt feelings that you are rightfully so in being hurt and impose them on the Black Panther franchise. Yep. No, sir. So yes, reboot them, send them on. Thank you. Send them a thank you letter. Send them, whatever you got to send them yearly. But don't come back.
Well, it's like I said this before the movie came out. It's when they were like, we were discussing close with Chadwick's family and this and that and what they want for this movie, and I was like, what the fuck does Chadwick's family have to do with the Black Panther comic storyline?
That means no disrespect.
No, it doesn't. But I'm being dead honest when I say, if I died, don't ask me what y'all should do about Harry Potter. That's not me, man. And I know there's a difference. He was the lead actor, but I'm just saying, like, we were always in touch with his, his partner, right? His what are they, like, writer or whatever? Mm-hmm. They were pretty much a duo. But again, what does he have to do with Black Panther? You're making, you made a morbid little thing about a friend of yours that died. But that has nothing to, it's weird, man.
Yeah, it's strange.
Weird, it doesn't work. But anyway, I'm going to get some of these comments real fast before we get directly into that topic. Let's see here. Raymond 2000 said they can't afford all these promises. The way they're going, I don't know.
They better get to stacking that paper, because their expectations.
Kenny Pierce said the main villain, in quotations, of Secret Wars is other heroes and villains from other universes. That eventually it all ends with a handful of heroes and villains surviving till the end of the multiverse. Right. That's very true.
But it is God Emperor Doom that sits at the top of everything.
And then we have Outside here who said Hulk has been neutered. Yeah, absolutely he has.
That's a good word, neutered. He has been neutered.
Absolutely he has. But I even go to argue that, there's certain characters, I don't know, because I want to say there's certain characters in the MCU that have to be fucking sidelined all the time because they are too powerful. But Hulk was never sidelined in the comics, so why does he have to be sidelined here?
I feel like even that, Then... What do you mean they're too... Like, when people say, well, some characters are too powerful. Like, that's who they are. Like, put them in the MC... Put them in there. Like, just because they're too... Like, Sentry is powerful, but...
I'm saying even in the comics, the easiest example I can give is a Franklin Richards, right? They have to find a way to have him not involved. Whether that's just not part of his story, but I'm saying if it's the Fantastics, right? Even fucking Galactus. Put him in a pocket dimension. That's how Franklin Richards works. So those kind of Omega level, unstoppable level heroes, you gotta kind of, they're trapped. That's when the villain would go, I stopped the one person that can stop me first. Mm-hmm. Now I make my power play. But with Hulk, it's different because Hulk has never had to be sidelined in the MCU or in the comics. He's always fighting. And I don't know what the MCU just decided to make him weaker. I don't get it. But let's see here. Then we have John Connor saying, no, who was it? Okay, yeah, no. Chad said, I was hoping Doom would show up at the end of Wakanda Forever.
Oh, well, buddy, we talked about that.
We all wanted to.
We all know why he did not show up at the end. We all know why there was only one post-credit scene instead of two.
Mm-hmm. And then, John Connor saying Avengers Timeless will collapse the MCU.
The Timeless Saga. Can they handle it?
Will the MCU will they make it that far? Is my question.
Well, they have purchased the Eternity Saga, the rights to the name, so they have a plan after Secret Wars.
And then let's see here. Oh, this is the outside gave the best fucking comment of the day. I'm throwing it to this person right now. Imagine if these super intelligent people at Marvel decide to freeze T'Challa like Captain America was for 70 years with 1930s tech. Thank you.
That's been
freeze his ass. You've already done it.
Going around too. I mean, there's a lot of things that Wakanda's already done in the MCU that they couldn't do to cure their own king. Like, get the fuck out of here, bro. And the fact that Ryan Coogler said if it doesn't feel truthful, we can't do it. How does that feel truthful to anything you told in the first film?
They eat a fucking plant and die and come back the chosen one of a god.
Like, bro,
I'm sorry.
Me with that
and
shit.
yes, I know you'll correct me, so I'll say this now. I understand Wakanda tech could have cured him, right? Real Wakanda tech. But in this MCU, for some reason, if it can't, literally what part is real about a fucking wizard opens a portal and steps through and goes, let me try to heal him with my magic or cosmic fucking powers? This isn't real life.
Yeah.
This isn't... What part of Guardians of the Galaxy is real fucking life?
Yeah.
Why? How come whenever it is specifically the black community, they have to take this, it has to reflect reality, it has to reflect what people... No, it doesn't. Just like it doesn't for any of the other fucking characters you have. No. You just randomly picked this movie to be fucking weird about it, right? And I get it. You didn't know what to do. Not this, okay? You fumbled the bag. Just not this.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Ram 2000 said RDJ, Chris, and Scarlett are all coming back. Ain't no way.
Yes, sir. They'll be back.
Watch.
And John Connor said Tony maybe comes back as an AI in Armor Wars or Ironheart.
Maybe, if they can. I'm more on the fence that he would come back now that Armor Wars is a film. But I'm sorry, RDJ was never coming back for a series.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he was, because we talked about that on the channel. We talked about the possibilities of him showing up in Armor Wars. Ironheart. And I at first I was really like, don't you think they kind of have to? But then we got on the conversation of money. RDJ. I mean, the man was making $50,000 just a cameo. So I don't know, maybe.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, outside of Gid made a good point. Ain't no way of telling these future Avenger stories without the fucking Avengers. Like, we gotta have the team assembled again, boys.
We don't even have a team right now.
And then Osher made a question. He said, also, why were the Atlanteans Mayan in the waters but blue outside the water? Namor's supposed to be the odd one sticking out? I don't...
You know,
did any of that movie make sense to you?
Here's what I have to say. If you're coming to ask me personally questions about things that went on in the film, I'm the wrong person to ask. Mm-hmm. Again, my interest was never piqued for the film. But you completely lost me after that. I don't remember the funeral because I was wiping my eyes. I had my fucking sleeves like this, trying to calm myself down from watching a morbid funeral that you shoved in my face. So if you're coming to ask me questions about why Talakon did this, why... Bro, I'm missing again, for those of you that don't know or weren't here, I walked out of the movie. So I really, like, there's a whole 20 minutes that I can't even tell you what the fuck happened because I walked out of the film. I don't know. I don't know why. I don't know. Why wasn't T'Challa there?
Yeah. So what's this? This is something I didn't know. Raymond 2000 saying that Winston Duke's comments today were really disheartening. I didn't.
I did see Winston Duke's comments today. Well, let me put it this way. I saw the video. I did not watch it. And the reason I didn't watch it is because it was just more bullshit being spewed out of somebody that doesn't understand this franchise.
Do you want to just cycle into it? Go to the main topic?
Yeah, we can move into it.
Okay, I'm going to go on ahead, you guys, real fast. We appreciate all the comments. We appreciate all the super chat. We appreciate you guys vibing with us. Remember, we are 5 days a week now. The main show is moved from Sunday to Friday, and we'll be with y'all 5 days a week. And you can always, again, join us on the Discord if you want to, get further in the community, chat with everybody, suggest us topics, and interact with us more. I'm going to go on ahead right now and put the description in the Discord link in the comments.
The Man 900 said, Ryan Coogler seems like a T'Challa hater. I've said that too. T'Challa looked passive and weak in his solo movie, but was badass in Civil War, directed by the Russos. I've talked about that so many times on this channel. I have said I prefer T'Challa much more.
in Civil War than I do in his own film. Do I dislike him in his film? No. But the way that he was portrayed in his film is not the way he's portrayed in Civil War. The way he's portrayed in Civil War is my T'Challa. That's T'Challa to me. Again, I don't mind him in his own film, but at the same time, even his intelligence was, to use whoever said neutered. His intelligence was nerfed in his own film. You know, T'Challa, in the fact that, again, which I'm going to get into this, but the fact that you want me to believe that Shuri, who you've never put her in this position in the MCU, is supposed to be coming out like the power. Like, this is another thing too. Someone put in our comments in one of our videos and said, why is this even a conversation? What do you mean, how is Shuri going to beat Namor? She has the power of the heart-shaped herb. She can do this. She's got a kinetic energy suit in the BP suit. Tell me you don't understand BP without telling me you don't understand BP. Just because she takes the heart-shaped herb does not then give her these martial arts abilities. What you have to understand about T'Challa is T'Challa was an Ivy League scholar, very, 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 very intelligent. I think he has like 7 PhDs.
Yeah, he went to college in not only Europe but also the United States.
Yeah, like he's got 7 PhDs, and he's very, very, very well versed in his martial arts training. I will take you back to Civil War. If you go to the lobby scene where they had just captured Bucky, they take Bucky in. Bucky escapes because Zemo starts messing with his head again, saying all that shit to him again, and then he's down there fighting. Now, Tony was out of the suit, right? Tony needed certain things from his suit to help him still fight Bucky. Who was out of their suit and still whooping Bucky's ass? T'Challa. Why? Because regardless of with the suit or not, I can even take it back to his film when the Challenge Day. The powers of the heart-shaped herb, the Black Panther, were stripped away. And was it a struggle with M'Baku? It was. But who came out the fucking on top? Yeah. T'Challa. Because it ain't the heart-shaped herb that gives you the power.
Right.
It gives you the power of the Panther, but it don't give you magical martial arts powers. So yeah. I don't know where the fuck all that came from with her.
It's like that scene where she punched and the thing went flying. Like, sure.
Yeah.
But you're not gonna know how to fight and use that power. That doesn't make sense to me. You know, to bring up that scene, that's a great example of that's the difference between T'Challa as a man was whooping the Winter Soldier's ass as a man.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Again, it's gonna be rough. It's not gonna be easy for you. But the difference being is when he does don the mantle, now all those skills are heightened to another degree, and he's got vibranium fucking claws. You know what I'm saying? Like you're taking a monster and then making him a bigger monster.
Right.
Where with Shuri, it was she did the little punch, and it was like, ooh, I have some powers now, and then she can just and my whole deal too, and this is going to be interesting, but I've seen a lot of complaints, and I kind of felt that way too. Shuri is not built as her build, the actress's build, is not really it just was not believable. This does not look like a person who is trained and can pull off all these badass acrobatics and has the strength to follow through with it. And if you try to argue, well, that's a misogynistic point, why do you think people literally work out nonstop to play these fucking roles? To appear like the goddamn hero they're playing, right? And Shuri, just nothing about her character from the entirety of her time in the MCU has me believe that she could do that to Namor.
No.
Not at all.
No.
And quite frankly, when she got stabbed through the stomach, after draining him and weakening him, and he still beat the shit out of her, I was like, it's about right. It's about how that would go.
Yeah, no,
And then all of a sudden she does a fucking side flip and can just whoop his ass. It just wasn't believable to me at all.
You know, and then for everyone saying, well, let me put it this way. For little black boys and just black men in general, T'Challa is the biggest and literal form of representation when it comes to just what we want to see as far as black representation on the screen. And none of you, no one in the comments, no one that's going to come in here later, none of you can give me an example of a character that even compares to T'Challa on screen. None of you. No one can. Because when it comes to the character of T'Challa, there is no other.
I don't give a fuck if it's TJ. There is no other.
Right.
But again, that's the ignorance, it's the lack of education and ignorance that surrounds this conversation, because in the same breath, you'll tell me there's plenty of black representation in the MCU. Okay, so we've got an upset Mahershala Ali, who his film was announced in 2019, who shit wasn't on track, which makes no sense to me that none of his shit was on track. The script had to be rewritten by DeMeo and all this type of shit. You've got Don Cheadle, who's literally been sidelined, who's now getting a movie, but been sidelined. We ain't seen Don Cheadle. We ain't seen War Machine do shit besides come in with them corny ass jokes about stories he's done and ways that he's beat different, forces without us even seeing it. Then you got Sam Wilson's Captain America, who's about to get, yes, his own film, but not even going to be the star of his own film. He's going to have to share the screen with Harrison Ford's Thunderbolt Ross. So now don't tell me we have all this black representation in the MCU, you've got this, you got that. We don't have all of that. No, we don't.
Right, so I'm going to bring also a comment up specifically. So this Mr. Alfonso Howard, this movie makes everything going forward easier for everyone. They did what they needed to do, especially for the Black Panther franchise. So let me pose a thought here, because
hold on, even if Chadwick doesn't pass away, he was never going to be able to do this movie. His body was breaking down already.
Okay, so hold on, go ahead.
Well, okay, so here's the whole deal. So once again, you're conflating Chadwick with T'Challa. The two are not mutually exclusive. Chadwick's body's breaking down. You recast him. That's the whole point here, right? And the main thing is you're saying it's making it easier going forward for the Black Panther franchise, right? Let me ask you this. Go pick, he's got a couple behind him, a couple over here. Find me a Black Panther comic where the story just continues on after T'Challa's death. Find it for me. What did they do to help their franchise by getting rid of the main character of the actual franchise? None of the stories of the Black Panther can be told correctly now because the Black Panther is dead. This was not the best decision. This was not a good decision. It was a poor decision that you will watch them over time walk the fuck back and find a way to get a grown T'Challa in there. Because they're different characters narratively. The fans of the Black Panther will know that the stories going forward are bullshit. What comic are you going to pull from? Like, I'm dead serious. Link me what comic the Black Panther, the T'Challa dies, and then it just stays dead, and they move on. Try to find one. There's not one.
Yeah, see, he tackled it from the comic aspect. That's not where I'm coming from with it. I'm coming from representation, period. That's where I'm going to come from it with every single time. Yes, Chadwick Boseman was passing away, but the world and you, Mr. Alfonso, are making it seem as if Chadwick Boseman is the only black male actor out there. He might be the only one that the world is familiar with because, again, well, and let me put it this way. He might be the only one that the world's familiar with within the MCU. Why? Because until the MCU, none of y'all knew who the fuck Chadwick was. Don't come in here and pretend you did. Most of you didn't even watch 42. Most of you didn't watch Thurgood Marshall. Most of you didn't watch James Brown, Get Up. Most of you didn't watch him play in Ma Rainey. Most of you didn't see that role. We have had so many of our actual black heroes, our real black heroes, either be assassinated, gunned down on some violence, etc., etc. Look at Takeoff. I'm not about to sit here and make it seem like I was a big Takeoff fan. I wasn't. Did I like the Migos? Sure. But I'm not a big Takeoff fan. But I want you to look at Takeoff. Another rapper that, and don't come and say, well, that was a rapper. Takeoff wasn't involved in shit like that. You never heard shit about Takeoff. It's another, but there, I'm sure he was some young black male's hero. Mm-hmm. So all of our heroes, our real life heroes are taken out. Why the fuck do we have to have our fictional one taken out too? A fictional one that lives in the most technologically advanced nation in the world. A fictional one that has never died in his own source material. A fictional one that sits high on a throne. Why do we take that away? I'll tell you why. Because a superpowered, strong black male scares the fuck out of white Hollywood. Why? Because we don't need to be seen in that light. And I've said this before. It ain't only important for the United States of America to see blacks in that light. It is important for other countries, other nations, other peoples, races, and creeds to see us in that light. Why? Because we're only seen as the villain. We're only seen as the absentee father that you've now made T'Challa. We're only seen as the villain. We're seen as the drug dealer. We're seen as the murderer, or whatever, this or that. We're always painted in a negative light. But the one time, after 50 plus years of waiting, the one time you have the opportunity to put this character that is literal black representation created during the height of the civil rights movement on screen, you say fuck your representation. You say fuck these little black boys. And the reason I even say that, hold on, let me show that. Yeah, this because this is what you're saying. You're saying fuck your representation, fuck your little black boys. You don't get any of that. Let me tell you something. This was made, this franchise was made for that right there. Jack Kirby riding around. There's black kids reading our comics, but they don't have anyone that looks like them. So let us create T'Challa, the Black Panther. Let me reiterate that. He didn't say let's create the Black Panther. He said let us create T'Challa, the Black Panther. For representation like you're seeing there. And it doesn't stop there, because that same representation is still felt today. That same I didn't mean to show that one, but that same representation is still felt today. With little black boys today reading those comics. Mm-hmm. So it's important. It has nothing to do with Chadwick Boseman's body deteriorating and him passing away. That was inevitable. That was going to happen. We knew that. Well, we didn't know that. He knew that, though. His family knew that. Mm-hmm. They were praying for the best, but they knew that he might be on his way out.
Right.
So with that coming, any time that you have in Hollywood an actor pass or an actor whatever, an actor step down from a role, when you are an actor, and I've said this about Letitia and Winston and the others, it is your job, especially in a fantasy film, to be able to move forward with the story. Take your time and grieve. Take your time and feel. If you need 2 years, take that. Marvel could have pushed this shit back. Mm-hmm. Marvel could have pushed this movie back. But they didn't, because it wasn't on par with the financials they were trying to put in their pocket.
Right.
They profited off this man's death. And as I said, the last thing. As I've said, if you saw the film, if you've seen the movie, and you are anything but disturbed by that opening scene, because that opening scene is literally profiting off of Chadwick Boseman's death. It opens with the heart monitor. You hear his heart fading. The scientist frantically running around the fucking lab. We're losing him. We're losing him. Suri trying to recreate the heart-shaped herb to save him. Something that if he already had in his body shouldn't have killed him anyway, because that's the way the fucking shit works. So no, I don't. It has nothing to do with any of that. It has everything to do with representation and everything to do with what this character means.
Right.
I've said this before, bro, and I don't want this to happen, but I said this to myself Actually, I wouldn't care. I wouldn't care if this happened. I don't want another actor to pass, but I would like some traumatic shit with Sony and Marvel to happen with Spider-Man, to where y'all don't get him. Mm-hmm. To where you only get the Sony shit that Spider-Man gives you. You don't get the Marvel shit no more. It ain't the same as taking him off the screen, because you still get him. But y'all would be pissed if someone fucked with y'all's character. But you cannot see the plight that we're trying to show about our character. That's y'all's problem. You can never empathize. You can never see somebody else's side of things. You only see one thing and one thing only, and that's at the face value of Recast. And that it's disrespectful. Chadwick Boseman died. He couldn't carry on. Well, then if that's the case, since Kevin Conroy just passed, I don't want to see you hit me with no Batman shit. I don't want to see you hit me with any animated Batmans, no more Batman, because that man was Batman, and his legacy defined him as Batman, and Batman dies with him. Just like with Wakanda Forever. They advertised Wakanda Forever was going to do this, it was going to do that. They were going to explore Wakanda. We didn't explore Wakanda. I learned shit new about Wakanda. I learned shit new about the tribes. The water tribe, the river tribe, who you think we should be learning about since you're dealing with water and Namor, they weren't there. Besides Nakia showing up in Haiti. None of that shit. We didn't learn shit. Wakanda Forever, we were supposed to learn about that. We're in Wakanda without its franchise's main character. Would you go to fucking Metropolis if there's no Superman? Would you go to Gotham if there's no Batman? So why the fuck do I want to go to Wakanda if there's no T'Challa? I'm sorry that was winded.
No, you're good. But see, that's the difference, is we can come at this from two different angles, and we should, right? So I'm going to come at this from a very simple thing known in show business. And this goes for movies, this goes for fucking plays in Greece. It's called The Show Must Go On. There's a reason you have an A and a B cast at all times on a play.
Right.
And generally it's because you do 2 show times, but there's another reason. If you're playing my lead role and you broke your leg, B lead role comes in and plays it.
Exactly.
Because the show must go on.
It's Hollywood.
Because these actors are playing and portraying characters from better works than ourselves.
Yep.
They are telling fantasy stories from, again, better works than ourselves. They teach lessons. There is meaning behind understanding and digesting these stories, and the meaning is not the actor. If you're seeing the actor, they're doing a shit job. I'll be real honest with you. They are. They are meant to embody and portray a character on screen that you learn from. The show must go on. And Disney half-assed this. I will explain. They said, after he died, they said, well, the show must go on. They were down for it. They said, no, we got to make Black Panther 2. The show has to keep going. But then they half-assed it because they were like, oh, maybe we shouldn't recast, maybe we should. And here's the deal. Y'all can go back and forth with this shit on whether we need to recast, we don't need to recast, all that bullshit, right? But what it really comes down to is watch that fucking movie and tell me how any of it made sense. Wakanda's not in the MCU. Wakanda's not the most advanced nation in the world. That they could not cure that sickness. When they were coming
not just the sickness, so much more. They are not.
Right. Well, I'm going down.
Yeah.
Where in a world where in the 30s we had superheroes or superhuman serums and fucking we could cryo freeze people. Where we have people doing galactic and universal missions. Where we have literally people that can open multiversal dimensions at will. He was abandoned. I mean, if you literally watch Black Panther 1, everything up to this, not knowing... What did I say? Someone 20 years from now watches the whole Avengers run, doesn't know anything about Chadwick's death, starts this movie, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
Right? Where are the Avengers? Where are his friends?
Why was no one at his funeral?
That's what I'm saying. Then you go into the dumb shit of how easily Namor got through all of Wakanda's defenses. Because other countries don't have subs? Other countries don't use underwater travel? Are you kidding me? Then we just go into, again, letting the princess leave the fucking continent, right? Just so many things about this movie were not good. So, they were down for the show must go on, but they just said, you know what, fuck it, we'll just make money off his death. You cannot tell me that him dying the same way Chadwick died out of nowhere, and then plastering his fucking coffin and face for 15 minutes for the opening of this film wasn't them trying to make money. And there was a montage of pictures of him at the end of the fucking movie, and I was told by Nate Moore's lying ass going into this, he said, we have a part where we'll honor Chadwick, and you'll see it, and you'll know it's there, and it'll hopefully hit you the same way it hit us. Which part? Because he's in the whole fucking movie.
It is the movie.
Through the whole movie. The beginning is his long-ass funeral. The end is shots of him and then his fucking son living on, he's going to live on through this fucking kid. No, the movie just wasn't good objectively. Get your, I can't offend the black community because they're all apparently just loving this movie. You know what I mean? Just get all that shit out of the way. Don't care for being attacked about it. Have the simple thought of, this movie didn't make sense.
No.
This movie objectively multiple times contradicted what the MCU has built. It was just profiteering off of a man's death. And again, if the show must go on, which it must, you recast.
Oh, yeah.
If you only see Chadwick and not T'Challa, then he failed as an actor.
That's his words. Mind you, those are his words. I want them to see the role and not me. I'm not trying to cut you off. Sorry to cut you off, actually.
No. That's the point.
But you have so many people. See, that's shit. That's one that is constantly missed. Anytime anti-recasters or people that are just like or new to anti-recast or whatever come in, they never want to have the conversation about where Chadwick himself has said the things we are mimicking. The funny thing is, people come at the recast of T'Challa as if we're pulling shit out of our asses. Like I'm pulling shit out the fucking air. Like I'm saying, Chadwick said this, but I pulled that out the air. No, I've got my receipts. I don't throw shit away.
Yeah.
I've got my receipts. I can show you where Chadwick has said X, Y, and Z. I can show you where Chadwick has said 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah, but it just goes back to, again, this isn't... I thought Chadwick was a great man. Sure, he left a great legacy.
Right,
around,
great.
Right? But that philosophy, right? That you need to see the character, right? He's not some prolific fucking savant that founded these theories. He learned from people like a Denzel Washington, for example. This is known in the craft of acting. It's how it fucking works, right? Because they have to understand, especially with these superhero roles, not only is the representation, but it is a perfect example of the better angels in people. And that's what I'm saying. It's the stories you tell. It's the things you learn through these.
Yes.
It's all about... That's why you find a hero you connect with. I bring up a perfect example I can give you is T'Challa when he lost his dad. He was angry. He was so mad. And you could see that and you could feel that and you're like, I would be mad too. But he made better decisions, didn't he? You don't know why he made better decisions? Because that's what these characters are supposed to do. You connect with them, but they are your better angels. They are your better people. There's a reason these stories need to be told, and these people are important.
Yep.
But instead, you just fucking watched... You killed him. All I've learned from T'Challa in the MCU is the motherfucker dies a lot.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's died. Well,
that's why I'm not really concerned with... Oh, well, it'll be an ass pull if they just bring him back to life for the next Black Panther movie. Not fucking really, because they've done it 4 goddamn times. They've done it 4.
When I sat down
in the theater, when we all sat down in the theater, when anyone sat down in the theater, that was Marvel preying on emotions.
Mm-hmm.
Literally, I want you to like, come on, bro. Like, seriously, like, put your biases aside. Honestly, don't even think about recast in this moment. Don't even think I'm pro recast or you're anti recast. Don't even think that. Let's be real here for a moment. You were okay with sitting down? Like, seriously, bro, you were okay with sitting down in a fantasy film that is like number 38 of whatever, of 38 films. However many films they have. Like, so how many films they have? Like 30-something films. Combined with their shows. Or no, that's just and then their shows are its own thing. Obviously still connected within the MCU. But fuck the technicalities. But you have all of that. And my thing is, if you sat down in that theater and you saw anything other than Marvel literally preying on your emotions to profit off your emotions... Right. Then you are just as brainwashed as I've been saying. Like you just said, how people in the MCU are what you say? You said people in the MCU are with Chadwick saying that they're he's the same one. That's because they're brainwashed.
Yeah.
They've been brainwashed by the MCU to believing this.
Well, I mean, it's that, but it's also like, once again, how would I even...
Appreciate the super chat, AJ, the flannel god, who said Letitia seems like she's done with these movies.
Yeah, she's fucking done.
Yeah, she's done.
I mean,
she didn't want to do this shit. She knew. She said this before the film even came out. Yeah, she was one of the ones that was anti the movie.
When you are to that level, I mean, yeah, it's... But look, so it's just... I don't know, there's a lot of people that... This is what blows my mind about this, right? Is so... We're basically going to a movie that celebrates Black Death on screen.
No, that's what it is.
Twice.
That's what it is. Right, it's celebrating.
But what I'm saying is, it's okay. So for me, and here's the difference. So I appreciate everybody in this chat. There's a lot of fucking people in here right now. That's
and we
super
appreciate
cool.
all of you.
We definitely appreciate super chats and everyone in the comments. We will get to your comments, I promise. But just like, man.
I'm listening to you. I'm trying to find something.
You're good. It's just like, I feel this weird... There was a disconnect for me. So for you, when we saw the movie, we sat right fucking next to each other. You got upset. The movie had an effect on you. Right?
Yeah, bro, I left.
Yeah. Where me, I again felt weirdly disconnected from that opening scene, because I was just like, what the fuck are y'all doing, right? And the whole time I was literally... I called it that night, Sad Fucking Wakanda, right? Where it's just like, I liked the name more shit, I thought it was cool, but every time they went to Wakanda, or anyone from Wakanda, it was death, oh, my dad's dead, oh, someone else died, okay, we're gonna have a long funeral for our king that died, yet weirdly, like, we're already past it very early, and, like, it doesn't show the ripple effects through the Wakandan ethos, like, their whole... I mean, fuck, T'Challa, whenever he made his decree at the end of the first movie, he starts bringing in the different tribal lords. And they start... It's not like they end their squabbles there.
Right.
They start squabbling within Wakanda, and he has to handle the shit, right?
Right.
So it's just like, you don't see the glory of Wakanda. You don't explore Wakanda. You explore a lot of death, a lot of pain, and that's it. I mean, but I felt weird sitting there, because it didn't hit me emotionally, because I was just like, oh my god. It's fucking, we're back. I mean, that was the joke I kept saying to Kellen. I was like, we're back to sad Wakanda. We saw the cool water people doing cool shit, and now it's sad Wakanda again.
Yeah.
The whole movie amplified. I mean, we're in celebration here, right? But like, that's the whole point of this movie, was supposed to be a celebration honoring Chadwick. La da da. You just made a 3-hour movie about black people dying.
Yeah.
The whole fucking movie.
Yeah, but this is not
like,
new,
talk
though.
about the cognitive dissonance here. Like, they didn't fucking get it.
It's not new, though. They've been telling Black death since the first BP.
Because what was the motivation for T'Challa? His father dying. What was the motivation for Killmonger? His father dying. What was the motivation for Shuri? Her mother dying. What we even heard Riri say in the film, "Oh, my father's dead." And when she said that, I said, "Damn!"
You were like, a fucking another trope.
I was like, "Fuck these goddamn tropes!" I was like,
know.
"Damn, we can't win for losing in these fucking films."
I know.
It's like, I'm like, "Damn, bro, why does her dad have to be dead too?" I'm like, "Do y'all think that we are all fatherless?" Like, bro, I'm sorry if Nate Moore or Ryan, and I know Coogler didn't, but I'm sorry if Nate Moore or anybody else that's black over at Marvel grew up in a dysfunctional, and anyone out there that might have grew up in a broken home. I'm sorry, but that is not... We don't want to see our community's tropes played out on a screen for viewers' entertainment. Mm-hmm. I don't find Black Death fun nor fascinating. I don't find our tropes fun nor fascinating.
Right.
Like, bro, our community is not the laughing stock. Y'all only really want to fuck with the black community, whether it's the music, whether you're telling us to shut up and dribble, or score the baskets for you, or playing on somebody's field, or whatever it may be. But anytime that we speak up, anytime that we're saying, no, we don't want to see this, or no, our community doesn't deserve that, or no this, or no that, I always take it to this. What were LeBron and them told in 2020 when they decided to speak up about George Floyd and the killings for Black Lives Matter? Shut up and dribble. Mm-hmm. What was Colin Kaepernick told when he took a knee? Just shut the fuck up.
You just play ball.
Just play ball. And the same thing here. It may not be the same.
Oh, he's
it's
a bad
not the
player,
same.
So he's just trying to sum up. Yeah.
It's not the same situation. It is not. BLM is not the same as what's going on with Chadwick. But the plight is the same. Mm-hmm. We are asking you to see our plight. We are asking you to see us for us, not us for our tropes.
Right.
Us for us. And to me, just injecting trauma from the black community into the film, and then you got black brothers and sisters that I'm sure are watching this live right now, some that are lurking, some that are going to come into the comments. I've seen some making comments on Twitter, and some of these comments I'm going to share with you guys that are saying, well, I don't see anything wrong with that. That's not black tropes. And brother, sister, if you are so lost, and again, that's why I don't like having these conversations like I'm more black than you, but if you are so lost that you can't see the literal expulsion of our community injected, bro, like purposefully injected into a Marvel, go point out another Marvel film, because I've seen this ignorance too. Well, we've been dealing with grief all season 4. Bro, if you insult my fucking intelligence and make me try to believe that the grief that I felt in Wakanda Forever is the same grief I felt in WandaVision, the same grief I felt in Black Widow, the same grief that I felt in Moon Knight, the same grief that I felt in what else did we was kind of sad in the same grief I felt in No Way Home, fuck you. You don't.
Well, no,
that ain't the fucking same.
But see, I'll give you this too. So in No Way Home, right? You have Aunt May die, and Peter learns and grows and shows himself that it's part of narrative storytelling, right? And so a problem you have here is, while I am, and I will be clear, staunchly against the choice to not recast T'Challa for this movie, Let's say, fuck it. You decided, like you did here, we're not going to recast T'Challa. Okay, poor decision, but whatever. You could have still... It would have been different for me if not every single black person in this movie was mourning people or dying or showing how weak they are. You could have had an honoring Chadwick moment and then open the doors to Wakanda and blow me away. Right?
Coulda.
Show me this nation. Show me how powerful they are. Show me how strong of a people they are. But you didn't do that.
Right.
So instead, what you showed me was a tribute to Chadwick.
Damn, I'm trying to find this post.
And then you tore down Wakanda. In front of me. You made them look pathetic. You made them look like children who didn't know how to do anything.
Right.
You made them look weak all the time, making stupid decisions and foolishly, just failing all over the place, right? Instead of Chadwick dying and that spurring Suri on to be better, I have to be better. Then you make the next movie, it's still about her if you chose to do that, and she's struggling with the pressures of leadership, whatever, you can tell a story. But in this one, it was literally just, so Chadwick died,
Here it is.
he's 90% of the movie, and every other black person can't fucking do anything. Like, it was ridiculous.
Let me, I'm sorry to cut you off, Trey.
No, you're good.
Let me show y'all this shit. I don't know if some of y'all have seen this. Now, Trey can tell you,
I showed up to the theater in a pissy mood. I was already in a pissy mood. Now, they came over and asked us at the theater, do you guys want a poster? My response was, is T'Challa on it?
I forgot about that.
If T'Challa's not on it, I don't want your poster.
This man literally, they all come like, hey, they're so, do you want a poster for Is T'Challa on it?
Yeah,
like, I don't want your poster if T'Challa's not on it. But, had I seen this fucking buffoonery? Had I seen this fuckery? This ignorant...
What am I about to see here?
Yes, a mass of bullshit?
Oh, what the fuck are you gonna show me?
I would have shut this shit the fuck down.
What are you showing me?
I want y'all to see this. I'm sure some of you have, but
Good lord.
this is comedy. Hold on.
Wait a minute. But it's the simple fact that they wore white. They wore white, bro. I have seen so many people posting after pictures of themselves outside the theater or going in before the theater wearing all white. Bro, again, tell me you're brainwashed without telling me you're brainwashed. You wore white and participated in a digitized, morbidly digitized funeral. And you thought, and you were okay with it. Like, bro, did you dress up for Mike's funeral? Michael Jackson, everybody should know by now. That's my guy. I will take no disrespect. I love Michael Joseph Jackson. I did not dress up for that man's funeral.
Because you didn't fucking know him. You didn't fucking know him.
I didn't dress up for Whitney's. I didn't dress up for Aretha's. I didn't dress up for... It's so fucking weird to me that people are out in the fucking... Like this person said, point of view, I'm just trying to see Black Panther. But you out... Now, again, was this some of the vibes of the first film?
Yes, it was. This was some of the vibes of the first film. So I don't want people to come in here and be like, well,
you know, people were dressing up and doing these things. The first film's vibe, though, we weren't going to a funeral.
No.
We were finally getting to see, after 50 plus years, our character on screen.
Right, but this goes back to, here's two questions. One, can somebody here tell me, going forward, which run of Black Panther will they be taking for the next
I'm gonna play that
possibly 2 movies?
so I can see that shit.
Is it the priest runs? Like which run are they going to do? Which run is Suri in charge and T'Challa's dead? Find it for me, because I just don't fucking get it. And that's my whole deal, is going, like, some people are like, oh, this was good, it honored Chadwick, la-da-da. But what happens when you don't have T'Challa in fucking 5 years?
these fools... Yeah, no.
Like, that is my... Because you want to sit here and you want to be like, oh, we can't say anything bad about this film because we'll piss off... So,
bullshit.
But here's my... I mean, you get what I'm saying. There's
I know what you're saying.
Are gatekeeping this. And
yeah, I know what you're saying.
If you say one bad thing about my film, you're insulting Chadwick's legacy. Oh, fuck those people. But I'm just saying, in 5 years, what comes of that? Like, in 5 years, what are they going to be doing with no
T'Challa Jr.? That's what you get.
They fucking just speed him up?
You get,
yeah,
Again,
I'm sure.
The mental gymnastics and the extra steps to just recast the fucking character.
I'm sure. Yeah, it would be the smarter decision to recast it. But again, Marvel said, no, we're going to give you T'Challa, but we're going to give you T'Challa that you don't want. No, I'm sorry. Marvel said, we said recast T'Challa. Marvel said, okay, we're going to give you T'Challa. But we're going to give you T'Challa that's not the T'Challa that you want. So we're going to, in his place, put a T'Challa Jr. to carry out the stories of T'Challa. Again, if you just had to do mental gymnastics with just listening to me say that, that's what I mean. That's what it is. And then I also want to hit that super chat there. Thank you so much, Joshua Allen. He said they can bring him back. Oh, sorry, Josiah Allen. Excuse me. Where he said they can bring him back using the King of the Dead storyline. He wasn't dead, and Bast came to bring him back. Boom, recast, bro. I would love it. I would love it. But again, as I said in our breakdown on Friday, every time I talk about Wakanda Forever, I'm just going straight to that opening scene. That opening scene solidified, your king is gone. T'Challa's not coming back.
Right.
We're going to give you a placeholder T'Challa and TJ Jr., our little T'Challa Jr.
I mean, you know what these motherfuckers will do, though? They can't... So it's kind of like... Let's say you're an anti-recaster, right? And I says something like, oh, well, using the child is just a fancy way to just recast him. Why not just recast him? Or other things like, well, how did he die from a sickness when we saw that Khonshu literally saved Mark Spector from bleeding out after being shot repeatedly at the bottom of the, at the base of his statue? Is Bast not a god just like Khonshu was?
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, is there a disease that gods can't cure? Now when you start asking him these questions, right? It just goes back to immediately, it goes to, well, you're disrespecting Chadwick. When it's like, no, the movie just didn't make fucking sense.
It has nothing to do with Chadwick.
But, how are you recasting him as a child when the canon story didn't make sense for him to die that way in the first place? Like,
right.
There were so many plot holes in this movie that you can pick it apart. Just think about it.
Yeah.
All you have to do.
And then for those of you that cannot distinguish the difference between Chadwick and T'Challa, without using some weird immortalization logic, why does T'Challa have to die with Chad? I don't understand that.
Why does T'Challa have to die with Chad? And before you even answer, but in the same breath will tell me it's okay that they recast
William Hurt for Thunderbolt Ross? Well, and here's the argument with that. Well, William Hurt is not... Well, Thunderbolt Ross is a side character. He's not as important. Show me... Let's disrespect T'Challa some more then. So you're telling me that you recasted a character that's a side character that's not as important, but you won't recast? And as I said before, in no universe, not in no fucking universe, is Thunderbolt Ross more important of a character than T'Challa.
Hold on, let me do this real quick. Corey Crawford, I want to address this. He said, what the hell is wrong with you? They were trying to be respectful and honor Chadwick Boseman. William Hurt was not as important as T'Challa. Hold on, you just said the key word there.
There it is.
William Hurt was not as important as T'Challa?
But hold on. To even further that, who are you to say how important one human's life was to the next?
No, but also on top of that, let's go back to... being respectful to Chadwick would be doing exactly what his own words were. I mean, his own family said recast.
These are people that don't... They're coming...
That's why I'm trying to educate him.
Corey is the type of person that comes into conversations not fully equipped. Corey is the type of person that comes into conversations...
Okay, also...
Hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on. No, I'm glad he's here.
Corey is the type of person that comes to these conversations and says... the things that he just said,
and I see what you just said there.
But this is to further educate, because there may be somebody in the 192 people watching that might feel like him, but just didn't comment it. So let me educate. William Hurt was in the MCU for people that are just dismissing this man's life.
Let me turn this bullshit off. This shit just sitting here.
You just replaying this over and over.
Because that shit's funny.
William Hurt, for people that are just dismissing this man's life, was in the MCU well before Chadwick Boseman and after Chadwick Boseman. Mm-hmm. He was there in 2008, all the way up until 2020. When he passed, 2020, he passed this year, 2022. So to sit and say that the character is not as important as T'Challa, you are right there. But in the same breath, I can say, then why did you recast William Hurt if he's not as important as T'Challa? So we're putting emphasis on how important the character is, but if you say T'Challa is as important as he is, why not recast that character? So you recast a character that's not important?
But Corey, here's what you're not understanding. So Chadwick, I'll explain this to you because you're clearly new to the channel and we've gone over this many times. So Chadwick has said he wanted you to see the character he was portraying. He understands that while you're saying Chadwick is one of the most influential people in Marvel, T'Challa, the first black superhero made for children during civil rights to
I
show
just showed that. Where was he?
Educated.
Where was he at? Do I need to bring that back up? Where were you at?
Yeah, no, we're literally talking about T'Challa, the multiple.
That's what T'Challa was created for.
Literally.
Yeah.
That's
Chadwick
what T'Challa was
did
created
not
for.
create this character.
In 1965.
Chadwick prized this role, and what he said was, he wants you to see the character. He did not want you to see him. And you killed a black icon for fucking 50 years because Chadwick Boseman died. That is the point we're trying to make here. It is no disrespect to Chadwick as an actor, but you need to listen to his own words. His own family, his brother and niece both said, recast.
That's
because
what he would
the legacy
want.
of T'Challa lives on for the black community to see.
But it's not just his family that has said it. Chadwick himself, he has not said, if I die, recast. He said, his words, that he wanted us to see the role and not him. And that he wanted to pass the baton to the next actor. He never wanted a role to stop with him. Why? And again, this is because, and I don't know what you are. I don't know what your race is. But I said this on the last time I talked about it. I think white folks, a lot of the time, when you speak on this stuff, you talk from such a place of privilege.
I just feel like you're also making a... Okay.
Hold on, let me finish that thought. You come in from such a place of privilege, not understanding that if you look right, if you look left, if you look up, if you look down, you are represented in every avenue. I can go to the snack aisle in Walmart, you're on all the snacks. I can go outside on the highway, you're on all the billboards. I can go pick up a book, you're in those. You are represented in every avenue. The one time we are screaming representation, the one time we are saying, please don't take, our real heroes have been taken. Don't take this fictional one too. Mm-hmm. The one time we're seeing that nobody, then you have people saying, no, that doesn't make sense. You have other black heroes. That's so easy to say when you look like Spider-Man, when you look like Tony Stark, when you look like Chris Evans,
right.
Captain America. We don't have that privilege, bro. Like, especially in the MCU. Who do I look at? Don Cheadle, who's been on screen how long? I think we talked about that. Idris Elba, who's been on screen for 15 minutes. And these aren't times I'm making up, by the way. You can go to imdb.com right now and you can look up the time that every actor in the MCU has spent on screen. Idris fucking Elba, who played in the first Thor, the second Thor, the third Thor, Infinity War, Love and Thunder. All together, 15 minutes on screen.
Mm-hmm. Look at Samuel L. Jackson. Look at Samuel Jackson. But hold on, this is I'm going to jump off Corey because we're not trying to. If you have a condescending or a different opinion, a contrasting opinion in the comments, we're not just going to come after you. Especially, but I mean, if you're going to talk about you getting pissed off about things, I will say this. This is the last thing I'm going to say on it, and then we'll jump off of Corey's back. So you said where are the plot holes, right? So I'll bring this up again. I don't know where you've been the whole time, but like, okay, so he is blessed by a god, the goddess Bast. How was Bast not able to cure him from his sickness? Because she cured Mark Spector. He said, where are the
plot holes?
And I'm explaining where the plot holes are.
Did we watch the same movie?
Hang on. So, hold on. So, she could have saved him from his sickness the same way that that Khonshu saved Mark Spector, because they're gods, that's what they do. They could have froze him like the same tech they used in 1930s with Captain America? Why didn't they do that? How come none of the Avengers were there to see him? Why did they let the princess of Wakanda, when their king is dead, travel to the United States to go on a fucking joyride in the city fighting and nearly dying, killing people? That did not make any sense. There's just a lot of things in this movie that if you sit there and think about it for more than 5 seconds, it's like, oh wait, that doesn't work. Wakanda's the most technologically advanced society there is. Or are you just introduced to Black Panther via the MCU? So if you need to have any further explanation, Wakanda is a fucking super society within the comics. Wakanda can do anything. There's not shit Wakanda can't do. There are there's the key smartest people within the Marvel Universe, and then right under them is every standard Wakandan scientist. Am I wrong?
No.
I mean that's how that works, right? To say that and that's what they hyped up throughout all of this whole fucking show. How did Namor get into Wakanda? How the fuck did that? I mean, there's a million things about this movie.
You could give that, but the biggest one that you can give is the mid-credit scene. The mid-credit scene completely contradicts the entire first film. Why was he at odds when he went to the ancestral planes the second time? What did he tell his father and the other Panthers? You were wrong. All of you were wrong. Because they hid Killmonger. Because they didn't take his cousin in. He literally is doing the exact same thing with his son. Hiding his son from the pressures of the throne.
Yep.
Hiding his son from Wakanda. It completely contradicts the first film. That's the plot holes. I mean, I'm not even about to give you the whole synopsis of the film. I'm giving you the 2-minute and 30-second mid-credit scene that created major plot holes.
Right, and I'll end it on this one. Go pick up... I mean, Corey, again, it seems like you haven't read the comics. I'm not trying to insult you if you have. Go pick up the Glenn Priest runs, specifically... What is that one? It's Wakanda. I brought it up the other day. It's Enemy of the State. Mm-hmm. Read the first Enemy of the State. You will see where T'Challa makes a lot of decisions that are not liked by his people, but he needs to because he is their king and he guides them.
Some of the most interesting stories in Black Panther are not the shit that goes on outside of Wakanda. It's the shit. It's the struggle within himself in Wakanda.
Right. Well, and in this movie, oh my god, he is in the United States looking for the killer of a young black girl. In the meantime, Wakanda's basically having a fucking civil war revolution. And, I mean, there is no way he would go, son, you will lead my people one day, so I will take you away from my people where you know none of our customs, none of our cultures, and go far away. And then we'll bring you back one day and you won't have any idea what the fuck is going on. Like, it's ridiculous. But, I'm gonna get off him here. We had 2 super chats, and I didn't get to react to them. I deeply apologize.
I hate when people come in and they're like, chillax.
I got it.
That's so funny to me.
No, I'm passionate about this shit.
No, but first of all, you're not gonna tell me to come in and chillax.
You're gonna come on our channel.
If I want to stand on this fucking desk and do a dance while I talk, I'm gonna do so.
Like, you're not gonna tell me to chillax. That's what we're here to do. We're here to get mad. We're here to be upset. We're here to
go off and talk about the disgusting the disgusting profiting off of Chadwick's death that was Wakanda Forever.
I'll pick up your Kleenexes here in a minute. I'm sorry.
that shit is that shit's, and like her laughing emojis, that's literally how I feel with comments like that. Like, it's funny to me when you come into spaces that you weren't in. Like, you entered, like when people argue with someone on Twitter and be like, well, no one asked, but you literally entered a conversation that you didn't want to be in.
No, see, that's
like, you
my
literally
shit,
entered a chat knowing what we're talking about.
Right, that's my shit. When someone
so wild to me.
When someone posts some dumb shit, and then I come in there and tell them it's some dumb shit, and they're like, well, I didn't ask you. And it's like, you didn't fucking ask anyone. You posted on a public forum, dumbass. Like,
yeah, it's that shit. That shit is funny, bro.
Spider Sense, we appreciate the super chat. So I'm going to hit them real quick before they disappear on my screen.
I'm so glad that you're entertained. I'm so glad. Then that's why we're here. Are you not entertained?
Are you not entertained?
You should be entertained. I'm so glad you are entertained. And while you're being entertained, I hope, Miss Desiree, that you're being educated and learning something.
So Spider Sense said they are taking away a chance for another black actor to play T'Challa, Aldous Hodges. And then we have Josiah Allen again with another $5.
Appreciate you, Josiah.
So much for the super chat. That's fucking cool, man. I'm gonna butcher this name. Yolan Noel.
It's Yolanda Noel, but no, Yolanda Noel is playing. Did he ask if Yolanda Noel was playing?
He just said Yolanda Noel is T'Challa.
Yeah, somebody asked was Yolanda Noel playing Wonder Man. No, that is Yahya Abdul Mateen II who will be playing Wonder Man.
Yeah. Yeah, man. No, again, we just want to say we do greatly appreciate the super chats. It's wild that we're in a position where we can sit here and talk about something with 200 plus people.
I've got some more that I'm about to share.
Yeah, he's about to get into some things here, and I am going to go on ahead and repost the Discord link again.
And for those that didn't see, I'll go ahead and show this one. For those that didn't see, this is what was on screen. The first. It had to have been on screen. They showed that casket like so many times. They showed Suri being, drug off of it because she was crying over her brother.
That shit was a lot, man.
It was tough, man. And it was something that it's feelings I never want to feel again going into a Marvel film.
Hey, Theo B's in here. I missed that.
I should never sit down in a Marvel film and feel the way that I felt within the first 5 minutes, bro. Not even 5 minutes. The first 5 seconds of this film. So everybody that hasn't seen it, that's
and we knew the spoilers, and that's the wild things. We knew I knew it was coming, but it's different seeing it. When that first opening scene happened, and she was like, "What's my brother's heart rate?" I was like, "Fuck!" They're really from the jump.
From the jump, bro. From the jump, it was supposed to prey on your emotions.
Right, but see, that's even like my brother, for example. My brother, he's not a part of the recast T'Challa. He doesn't. He's came out the Navy. He's just trying to watch a movie. He was like, I thought it was a really good way to end Phase 4, and I was like, what part? And I tried to just the plot holes are too big. Even if you're not connected to the emotional side of this, even if you didn't feel robbed for paying money to see 2 prolific black actors' funerals, it wasn't there for me, man.
No, they can keep that. You know how Disney has the Disney Vault, where they're like, oh, this movie Cinderella is coming out of the Disney Vault. Get it before it goes back in forever. They can throw Wakanda Forever in that damn vault. They can throw that shit in the vault forever. I don't ever have to see that film. First of all, I will never watch that film again. I meant that day. I said it. It is in my never again watch MCU list, right down there with Thor: Love and Thunder and some of that other shit. I will never watch Wakanda Forever again. So to jump here quickly into what people were saying, what the negative backlash. I'm going to go through this kind of quickly here. This is something that we've been saying. This is something I've been saying since before the film came out, was the backlash, the divisiveness, how divided the fandom was going to be. Over Black Panther. So let's get into what some of these people were saying. You've got this is coming from the MCU Direct. They said this has led to resistance from support. Actually, I'm sorry. I need to pull that over to my screen.
Because we blind.
I won't be able to see that. Okay. This has led to resistance from supporters of the Recast T'Challa movement, as the topic has trended on Twitter through November 12th over the opening weekend, implying some fans aren't happy with how Wakanda Forever's plot handled T'Challa's death. What have I also said? Every single time Marvel put out a trailer, every single time they put out one of their 10-second clips to get you ready for the film, or a featurette on YouTube, what the fuck trended? It wasn't Namor. It wasn't Tanakh. It wasn't Talakan. It wasn't Shuri. It wasn't Okoye. It wasn't Urimbaku. It was T'Challa. T'Challa trended all weekend. T'Challa's name trended all weekend. Why? Because it's the same. Take it back to the Johnny Depp conversation. The same way people can say in the same breath, well, how can you do Pirates of the Caribbean without Captain Jack Sparrow? That's why. Because you're doing something without the franchise's main fucking character. Look at DC. DC's trying to get their shit back on track. Why was DC? We hadn't seen Superman in a decade. Until David Zaslav got on that investors call and said, look, bruh, we got to get Superman back in here.
There's no way we're doing this without the franchise's main character. And when he does show up, we only see from the neck down. We don't ever see him. We haven't seen Superman in a decade in DC, but now that they're getting it, we gotta put the franchise's main character back in shit for people to put their asses in the seats.
Oh, so y'all don't want to see a whole movie in Gotham about a fucking...
Like, don't get me wrong. Was Black Adam great? Black Adam was fun. It was a fun, adventurous film. But unlike Wakanda Forever or any Marvel films where we go to the theater and the seats are all packed out, there was like 30 people, and I saw Black Adam in the IMAX. There were 30 people in there, maybe. Nobody said a word. But when Henry Cavill showed up, it got loud. Like there was like 50, 60 people in there. People were clapping. Hell, I started the claps. I almost stood up because I've been waiting on that. But it's the franchise's main character. That's the whole reason here. So that's why you're seeing this backlash. But then, so these are some of the tweets here. This is from, one of the tweets says, explain to me why a nigga with super strength, speed, durability, sense, and resistance to disease, born in the most technologically advanced nation in the world, dies. This movie didn't explain it. Save T'Challa, recast T'Challa.
It didn't explain shit.
Again, so for people like that are coming in and like, oh, well, these are just you guys' feelings. No. These are fans' feelings. These are people that are looking at this shit saying, what? Hold on. Time out. How? Then you got another one that says, recast T'Challa. The MCU should not use the passing of Chadwick Boseman as a plot. That's just the first sentence. The MCU should not use Chadwick Boseman as a plot. A good marketing tactic is to relate to our emotions. The MCU is benefiting financially from our emotions because for some of us, going to see this movie is also an opportunity for us to grieve. Yeah. This one just lays out what Recast stands for. Again, if you're new here and you don't know and you're just looking at Recast T'Challa at face value, you're only seeing it for one thing. You're only seeing it as being disrespectful. But Recast T'Challa is not calling for an immediate recast. Recast T'Challa is not preventing anyone else from taking up the mantle that you all are so fucking worried about. Recast T'Challa is asking Marvel Studios not to use the tragic passing of Chadwick Boseman as a plot device in their fictional storytelling. Recast T'Challa is asking for the portrayal of T'Challa to be allowed to continue in the MCU. And don't say, oh, well, they're doing that with TJ. That ain't what we talking about. This one says, Batman equals immortal. Superman equals immortal. Spider-Man equals immortal. We had one black superhero and y'all killed him after one movie. Nah, son. Wakanda not forever. Yeah, bro, these are real feelings out there. These are real feelings. I'm going to keep going because there's more. This one said, MCU said, even in our dreams. I love this one. MCU said, even in our dreams, even in our fantasies, black men can't change our narratives. Shit. We can't prevail. We can't be immortalized. We're a tribute, a mere footnote, irrelevant. Wakanda forever, # recast T'Challa. I love that one because that one really hits it on the head. That one, so for people like Desiree that come in laughing with emojis and things like that, that's where the passion is stemming from. The passion is stemming from even in our dreams, even in our fantasies, black men can't change our narratives. We can't prevail. We can't be immortalized. We're a tribute, a mere footnote, irrelevant. And I could also put that quote up next to some of these brothers' screen times in the MCU. A footnote, irrelevant, on the left. We got one that said MCU Black Panther is the first superhero to die more than once in a franchise and have its stick. A black man, that is insulting. 2.5 times, I'm gonna just round it up to 3. 3 times, once in BP, Infinity War, now Wakanda Forever. Freaking insulting. Some of these are about to get positive. These are gonna be some people that are anti-recast. This one says, multiple Boseman family members said, this is to answer. You said this not too long ago. Said Chadwick would have wanted to recast. And in interviews, Chadwick himself said he was proud to start a legacy like James Bond, which gets recast all the time. They looking for a new James Bond right now. The truth is the truth, even if you disagree. That last line. The truth is the truth, even if you disagree.
So what's crazy to me, I'm just going to throw this in here real quick, because it goes back to what I was saying earlier. Maybe not everybody was in here for it. But, you know, he mentioned the whole James Bond legacy characters, things like that, right? So, he played T'Challa in one... He had one movie, right? He was a cameo and a guest in other movies, but he had one movie, right? This is not me making a character and playing it for fucking 25 years and then saying, guys, hang it up. It's dying with me. It's not what this is. And again, when you are in a production, whether it be a movie or a play all the way back to Athens, Greece, the show must go on. It must, and he knows that. This is not a prolific statement that Chadwick is making. It's common sense for actors. The show goes on.
It ain't just common sense for actors. It's common sense in fucking general.
Apparently it's fucking not.
This is, well, common sense ain't that common no more.
That's what I'm saying.
But this
Apparently
is unprecedented, bro. We ain't never seen this.
No.
We ain't never seen nobody
not be recasted.
Yeah, again, you had a lead actor A, lead actor B. What happened if lead actor A went down? Lead actor B took his spot. And that's no disrespecting to anyone, because these are not real fucking people. They're characters portrayed to show us, teach us, pass us on. I mean, one, it could just be entertainment. Two, it is lessons. Three, it especially with superheroes, it's for kids. It's for everyone to seek their better self. Look at that. There is the Black Panther. You know what I'm saying? There is this character I relate to that is a hero and does great fucking things. So, like, this isn't crazy. What is crazy is the fact that y'all want to fucking pretend that Chadwick created T'Challa.
Theo B said Desiree is either a young girl or the parent of a young girl who loves softball, not Black Panther. Yeah, and he said 64 minutes and 35 seconds over 4 movies. IDK, what we're supposed to do with that? That's a little longer than one episode of Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Damn! That is so true.
Theo, chill, bro.
That is so true. That is just that's right, bro. That is right. That's facts. That is fucking facts.
We've got one that says T'Challa, and I'll post this link because I got people asking what article is this. Let me put this link down in the chat for you guys. Here you go. This is coming from the Direct. This one says T'Challa is our... Wait, no, this one says, look, recast T'Challa is still trending because folks are feeling what we have been saying all along. We love Shuri, and yet Wakanda Forever still had a T'Challa-sized role in it that only
recast T'Challa can fill.
A T'Challa-sized role.
How many moments? Even if you take it back to one of our last live streams before the film, I showed the clip that they released of Shuri coming down the side of the ship that they took in the middle of the ocean for whatever reason to fight Namor, but neither here nor there.
So let's go fight him in the ocean.
Yeah, fucking dumb. I get what they were trying to do, but fucking dumb.
Let's all stand on top of the ship and be shocked when he can throw
with
shit
10
at
men.
us.
So then Shuri's going off the side of the ship. I remember sitting here saying, T'Challa could be there. T'Challa could be there. You can still have Shuri on screen, but T'Challa could be there. Ooh, he could be taking out Atlanteans there. He could be.
So yeah, T'Challa-sized role, that's real.
And bro, I'm gonna be real honest. This is almost irrelevant, but it's about the movie. I don't know if you saw this, but at the point where they're jumping off the side and they're fighting on the side of the boat, right? So you have the Dora Milaje hanging off the side of the boat fighting, and then you have the I can't think of what those the warrior men are. The
Jabari?
Yeah, the Jabari. Okay, just the Jabari tribe, right? Are holding on to them, and I'm sitting here thinking, so you think it makes more sense to fight fucking sideways? And then half of your army that's there, it wasn't an army, it was a little fucking group, is too busy holding a rope to be able to assist you and fight. Like, none of it made sense. None of it was fucking good. Just because there are people on ropes fighting Atlanteans sideways on a boat doesn't mean this scene is fucking good at all. You just have to think for 10 seconds stupid, and be like, I just wanted to bring up how that scene irritated the fuck out of me.
And I'm not even trying to, like, it's not me hating on the movie, because I still want the movie to do good, because there are black actors and actresses like Angela Bassett, who I adore, Winston Duke, even though his comments have been blah, Letitia Wright, her comments, blah, Lapita and Denai, like, there are, I still want to see Ryan as a black man be successful. I do. And I'm sorry if that makes you mad, but I do. I still want to see him successful. I'm like Issa Rae. I'm rooting for everybody black.
Right.
I'm rooting for him.
I mean, I get what you're saying. That's just for me, like.
But I still have my issues with this film.
If you go on, I mean, to me, it doesn't matter. You know, at one point, if you just go on to continue to make shit films, like, it sucks to suck. Like, I'm sorry, but y'all all, I mean, that's the crazy thing, is y'all all told me about, like, Fruitvale Station and things like that, right? Y'all told me that he plays on black tropes really hard. And I was like, okay, let's see how this goes. And then I got in this movie, and I was just like, holy fuck. It's like you said, it's tropes. Everyone's dad's dead. Everyone's fucking sad Wakanda land. We're gonna kill off T'Challa. We're gonna kill off leadership.
Boy, when they killed the queen.
Everyone in this movie, like, it's just...
That's when I left.
Let's watch black people losing everyone they love. That was the fucking movie.
Again,
and then cool Atlantic shit. Like,
yeah, that's yeah. So let me move back to this really quick. Then it says
yeah, we're gonna run for
T'Challa is our Superman, and Superman doesn't die. Marvel and Disney absolutely shit the bed with this one. They could have had the #1 franchise in the MCU, guaranteed every 2 to 4 years, and they killed him because they were emotional. Batman and Superman live forever.
Recast T'Challa.
Now this one is anti-recast. Can a bitch grieve the loss of Chadwick Boseman in his perfect portrayal of T'Challa and let his body get cold in the ground before you recast? Damn, y'all are cold-hearted. I'm happy to finally get a black woman as the Black Panther for a while, forever. Black Panther.
A bitch can feel the way a bitch wants to feel. But the bitch can also feel that way being knowledgeable in the source material that we are talking about. Being knowledgeable in who the character is.
A bitch can feel that way.
Did a bitch not know that he was in the ground for 2 years, his body's been cold? Was a bitch not aware of that?
Was a bitch also not aware that
that for 12 issues, that she's that concerned about it, she wants a black woman as a Black Panther, she can go read series 12 issues. There's a black woman right there. We don't have to have that injected into this film when you could have just recast the character. So a bitch is free to feel the way a bitch wants to feel.
I kind of wish I could figure out what thing a bitch really loves, whether it be Harry Potter or whatever, right? But I want it to be something I don't know shit about, right? I want to walk into whatever a bitch really loves and just start spewing my dumb shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go. You know what? I actually know this series, but I'm gonna go into How to Get Away with Murder and be like, it'd be really great if they just recasted a male lead role. You would literally turn around and be like, you're gonna fuck with Viola Davis? Like, it's just ignorance. It's all it is. It's like, damn. It is. I don't know anything about the Black Panther and it's fucking 50 years of successful comic runs, but can we just get a female to do this instead? Like, it's just stupid. Why are you fucking around on something that people care about? And real quick, because this man is on a roll tonight. Spider Sense with another $5.
Appreciate you, Spider Sense. Appreciate you. Bro.
I will just read your comments. You hit a wall today. You're good. But we really appreciate it. We do.
We definitely do.
The bank, bro. Think about it a little bit. I'll come to your comments. Said I think Disney is trying to prevent from having black dominant superhero leads. Black Captain America, T'Challa, and Armor Wars.
Yeah, bro. It's like I kind of said at the beginning. The reason that T'Challa is being taken off the screen is because a powerful black male, a superpowered black male king in charge of a nation that's not just intelligent, but a genius. Mm-hmm. And it's equipped in any form of martial arts and anything, all the boxes that he checks. It's scary. It scares them. It literally scares them because. Do I really want to go that deep with it? I don't know if I want to go that deep with it. Sure, why not? It scares them, and the reason it scares them is because if you look, I mean, just bro, look, when our people were enslaved, they used to do something to the males called buck breaking, where they beat the shit out of the male of the household until that male of the household, of the whatever, the household of the slave quarters there, would submit to the massa. Why? Because they understood that if these strong black men band together and we don't break them, we're in trouble. And that's scary. Strong black men that can read, that's why they didn't teach them how to read, that can write, that can do all that, that's scary. We can't have that. So then you give him superpowers, you put him on a throne, you call him king of a nation, you call him a genius, you call him well versed in every version of martial arts. You give him the powers of the Panther. You want to make him one of the leaders of the Avengers?
A global superpower.
Then that's when they step in and say, ooh, I don't know if we need to be displaying that on screen, because that's when that little 4-letter word comes in, hope. Then you start giving young black men that are watching this hope.
But see,
and we can't have them be like him.
But see, I also think here's what's crazy about it, though, because, and this is where I will give Disney a little bit more credit, because there's one thing that argument isn't taken into place. This decision was made by 2 men of color.
2 token men of color.
Yeah, I agree, but I'm saying Disney was going to let T'Challa lead the Avengers.
Yeah, they were.
Disney was going... So I think this is... And that's why I almost kind of don't understand why... I kind of think there should be more flame thrown Ryan Coogler and Nate Moore's way.
Oh,
They took away everyone's opportunity to have T'Challa be T'Challa. Disney would have done it. They planned it.
2018, for those of you that don't know, 2018,
T'Challa was going to lead the Avengers.
Yeah.
That was their
story
moving forward.
I don't think Disney. I mean, and I'm definitely not praising Disney.
Disney's definitely they are.
But I don't think they're sitting here going, "Oh, we can't have a black male lead." They were going to do it because it made them money. They follow the money. But then he dies, and they do this weird immortalization.
But see, even if they were going to do it in 2018. Even with them wanting to do it in 2018, you still have the opportunity to do it now. So even if you're not showing the racism in that way, you are still low key showing it, because at the same time you've got your producer out here, because if it's Disney's decision, it's Disney's decision. Mm-hmm. It don't fucking matter what Nate Moore says. But if Disney really wanted to step in, if Chapek really wanted to step in, even though we know from Nate Moore's interview with E-Man that Nate Moore said Disney told them, do what you want to do. Do what you feel is necessary. And you felt it necessary to go in minutes. It didn't take you hours, months, years. It took you minutes to decide not to recast T'Challa. And then on top of that, you decided we're not going to put another, I can't look at another young black actor that's not Chadwick, Nate Moore's words, and say you're the new T'Challa. And again, brother, that's weird. You being black, the token black, but being black, coming from the places and spaces that we've all been, you can't look at another brother and say, "Come cut your teeth on a role like this."
That's super weird, brother. Super weird. Super weird. Let's see. This is the last one I'll read.
I don't appreciate the rhetoric from the Recast T'Challa group anymore. I saw this tweet live. I didn't see it on here. I saw it actually on Twitter. I tried to see your side, but if you've seen the new movie and still aren't satisfied with how they chose to handle the grieving of someone they knew better than you, then maybe just go write your own story.
Oh, no, they wrote it. They're behind the man's head. They fucking wrote the story. They wrote 50 fucking years of the story. And that movie had jack shit to do with the Black Panther story.
No.
So, I don't need to write my own story. I want the story about the Black Panther. I want to see that.
It's the last part there for me. But if you've seen the new movie and you still aren't satisfied with how they chose to handle the grieving of someone they knew better than you.
Nobody in that universe died until they chose to kill them.
He said better than someone that they knew better than you.
If you aren't satisfied, why would I be satisfied with a digitized morbid funeral? Why would I be satisfied with going to sit down and watching a character that I've loved since I picked up comics, Marvel comics, and watch him die?
Right, and so Rice Bubrick, sorry if I'm fucking up your first name there. I definitely appreciate the $5 super chat.
We do appreciate it.
He said,
so much.
Appreciate like-minded people. My special needs son is mad and confused. Why is his favorite superhero dead? He is done with Marvel now. So, to answer that question in all honesty...
That was one I was going to get on too.
To answer that question in all honesty, and I mean, we can go forever about how this will affect children. I brought this up before. We've brought this up multiple times. You've been told to shut up about kids before. But here's the deal. If you want to be completely honest about it, your kid's favorite superhero has to die because a guy in real life who played him a couple times in a movie died. Makes a lot of sense, right?
Yeah,
It doesn't. It doesn't at all. They use this as a very weird grief experiment because if you want to honor Chadwick's legacy, make a fucking biopic about him. If you want to honor his legacy, make anything you fucking want for Chadwick. He was a great man. No one's denying that. But you have to separate T'Challa from Chadwick. They are not the same person. Again, you talk about, that fucking comment said the whole, if you're not satisfied, write your own story. No, I want that fucking story. The story started by Jack Kirby.
When we talk about little kids, when we talk about what these films mean to these kids,
again, you're looking at it. You're looking at it. And I've shown the imagery before. I've shown the pictures of the little kids having the funerals with their action figures for Chadwick or for T'Challa. I've shown them going up to the posters in 2018 outside of the theater, ecstatic about being able to see themselves in T'Challa. The little boys, the two little boys that were like, Mommy, look, I'm that one. That one's me. They can't do that with a No Way Home poster. They can't do that with your Iron Man posters. They can't do that with your Ant-Man poster that's about to come out. They have to be... Who do they look at? So yes, it's all about... I wonder, I truly do, how some kids felt sitting there watching that at the beginning. Like they kept saying, we hope it's cathartic. Bro, I'm not even gonna... So yeah, the fact that you have a special needs son who's confused about what's going on with his favorite character. These are boxes Marvel didn't check. Nate Moore and Ryan didn't check. Why? Because they were being selfish. Again, Coogler had every reason to feel that way. Just feel that way somewhere else. But he had every reason to feel that way. But you don't. The fact that you didn't think about these kids. You only thought about yourself in that moment. It's crazy. It's wild to me.
But this is also where I start, man, my blanket gets bigger because this is when I'm going to bring Kevin Feige into it. And his stupid fucking comment about needing to see reality in the film, right? Because no one needed to go watch a funeral for a movie. You haven't done that with any Marvel movie. You haven't diverted this hard from the source material. This was weird for me. It was out of place. It was strange. It's crazy to me. And here's where it's fucking ridiculous. Is you say, well, in this specific movie, Black Panther 2, we needed to see reality, the world outside your window, on screen. So how come it's nothing but black people dying?
Because that's
because the black movie, the reality is everyone fucking dies. That's the world outside
of their screen.
All their dads are dead.
And not even movies. That's not even movies. That is the world outside of our screen. Where was everyone in 2020?
No, don't get me wrong, But what I'm saying is why did he choose to do that during this movie? And why in this space? This space isn't for that. This space is for heroes. And motherfuckers fighting in space. And wizards jumping through portals. They're fucking sorcerers. We didn't need any of this. But you gave it to us and we stomached it and we got through it and we don't fucking like it. And that's the problem here.
Yeah.
I just don't get why Feige has to choose, we'll pick the black movie. We'll pick y'all's movie.
Then he said at the end of that, the world is still processing Chad's death. Who? Marvel Studios? The world is not processing Chad's death, bro. Mm-hmm. We processed that 2 years ago.
Oh, DeJinx One said something that you always say. He said, we don't go to a Marvel film for reality, we go for escapism.
Exactly.
I only interrupted you because you say it all the fucking time.
Exactly. When I sit down in a Marvel film, I don't sit down to have my real life, the things I experience in real life played out on screen for viewers' entertainment. Yo. I go because I want to sit down and be... Like, bro, I use this example too. When House of the Dragon was on, through that hour... I don't give a fuck what was going on outside my TV. I was encaptured with the fantasy that I'm watching. With Wakanda Forever, again, your opening scene. That's not what I sit down for. I didn't sit down because if anybody saw our breakdown, I did unwillingly, but I did cry on screen. And I did cry on our last live stream. Not because of the film, not because I didn't get my way, not because T'Challa wasn't in it, but because it was too real. For those that don't know, and I really don't even want to go through this that much, but for those that don't know, this is what I mean when I say it's too real. I coach AAU basketball. Most of my boys are predominantly black. Not by just what it is. This is I have buried 2 players from car accidents. One I lost in 2018, and then this one I just lost this year due to a car wreck, like 4 months ago. So when I sit down in a Marvel film, I sit down for the Marvel experience, for that when that Marvel thing comes, when the logo dun 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 dun, like, bro, I'm there, I'm encaptured. But you literally you triggered me, and I'm sure their son died of cancer, and watching that film was extremely difficult for them because it was like reliving the moments that their son. When he passed, she had said she said that was so surreal to me because his heart rate was dropping just like T'Challa's. Mm-hmm. We were panicking just like in the lab. You think motherfuckers want to sit down and see that? Mm-hmm. We deal with that in real life. What would make you think I want to sit down in a Marvel film and experience what I experience in real life? So no, I don't want to be reminded of death. I don't want to be reminded of one of my players. She didn't want to be reminded of her son. And for whatever reasons you may have been reminded, you didn't want to be reminded of those. So again, that's why it's in my never again Marvel watch list. You ain't gonna fucking trigger me. You ain't gonna fucking throw my community's tropes in my face, bro. Mm-hmm. I don't want to see that.
Right.
Keep that shit.
And then you have people too, like, and this isn't an insult to you, but Dwayne Cinema, again, greatly appreciate all the super chats.
We do.
It's really cool, for sure. But he said, well, I respect the movement. Regardless of how the character was handled, fans would not have been satisfied, period. So whenever
it still would have been divided. I agree with him there. It still would have been divided if recast it.
And I've heard the argument, too, of an actor that tried to take up this role immediately and gotten fucking chewed alive, probably, right? Because people on the internet are stupid. But I will give you this argument. So what you do in that scenario, and it's a very real thing, you wait. You literally say, to honor Chadwick, we are not going to rush this film and make it about his death for money. We're going to hold off. But the story of T'Challa and the legacy of the Black Panther will be told. And then you wait a little bit. And then, if a couple, you know what I'm saying? You wait for 2 years, you wait for 3 years, whatever. And then, if some grown-ass adults can't handle it, get over it. I don't know what to tell you at that point.
I would even say, too, I've said this before. You know, one, if you just had to get Wakanda Forever out, he didn't have... I've said this, I mean it. I would have been A-okay. I wouldn't even be on this podcast right now. I wouldn't even be saying this. I'd be A-okay if you didn't have to put him in this film. I didn't need him in this. I would have liked to have him. But if I'm also intelligent. I understand. I get it. A real life person passed away. You need time to not only grieve, but then figure out how you're going to make this work. Who are you going to get in to do it? How are you going to, who's going to be the new T'Challa? So don't put him in this film. But you also don't put him 6 feet in the ground.
Right.
You recast him and say T'Challa's off-world. People forget, for those that don't know, for those that just see Wakanda or just saw the BP franchise in 2018 from Chadwick Boseman's introduction, Wakanda has a whole ass fucking galactic empire. Get the fuck out of here.
I mean that, and I'm sorry.
He could have been in space.
He owns a fucking galaxy.
Like, he could have been anywhere, but 6 feet in the ground.
But, and that's the thing. You'd have some dumbass sitting there going, well, that's not Chadwick. And then everyone in the theater can turn around and stare at the one guy and go, no shit, come on. And that's the thing. We're adults. We understand recasting happens. We understand shit happens. It's just, man, I don't know. I'm about out on these stupid people. They say some dumb shit that I just think is because every single one of these is not. I don't know how many times I have to say there is Chadwick Boseman, the actor, and there is T'Challa, the character. Every one of these anti-recast comments is like, I loved Black Panther 2 because Chadwick Boseman... Stop right there. Because that's not T'Challa. They're different people. One's a fictional fucking character in the MCU. It's just weird to me. You're making it about the actor, and it's just weird.
This last thing I'll read here. This is them summing up the article. Will fans warm up to the MCU's new Black Panther? No matter what fans may be thinking, Letitia writes Shuri is now the MCU's Black Panther. I want to pause there before I continue reading. So that's for anybody that keeps saying, calm down, bud. Chillax, bro. Calm down, son. You don't have to do, like, you're making a big deal of nothing. They're going to bring T'Challa back. He's going to be, I've seen so many people saying as if they work for Marvel. He's going to be in Secret Wars. Please show me any semblance of evidence that points to T'Challa coming back in the MCU outside of TJ.
The only thing I can think of is where they took his body to, because they can do the whole dead or the what is it, Lord of the Dead or whatever?
King of the Dead, yeah.
King of the Dead, yeah. But other than that, but I mean, it's Marvel. They've killed this motherfucker more times than we can count and bring him back.
Maybe the negative backlash could, I'm just saying as of now, there's no evidence. There's no semblance that he's coming back. Anyways, it continues and says, and Marvel Studios will, okay, there we go. And Marvel Studios will not be recasting T'Challa. At least in the traditional sense. Sure, he may only be 6 years old. But there is now an incarnation of T'Challa. I haven't read this, in the MCU. And he is the son of the deceased king of and Wakandan hero. Perhaps he may be he may have a young Avenger career ahead. First, but one day, T'Challa Jr. could be an Avenger himself, leading Wakanda and protecting his nation. But first, Shuri will almost certainly be holding on to her position for a while, and will likely be playing heavily into the Kang dynasty in Secret Wars. Although certainly the Wakandan throne is not in her sights, and she was quick to leave the royal duties wide open for M'Baku to assume, and with Western threats having been teased to come after Wakanda forever, the two will likely have to work closely together to handle their toughest adversary yet. Nonetheless, those who still want to see Boseman's T'Challa recast in the MCU probably won't be changing their minds anytime soon. Nope. Never. At least for never. Not for now. Never. Replacing the actor is clearly not an ambition for Marvel Studios. Let me read that again. Replacing the actor is clearly not an ambition of Marvel Studios, especially after dedicating an entire sequel to his legacy as an actor and Marvel hero. Black Panther: Wakanda Forever is playing now in theaters worldwide. So, yep, that's that. So don't think that he's coming back. Don't think that we have him. We have TJ. That's their T'Challa. As I said during the plot leaks, that's what they're going to do. If you take it back, this is it. This is the last thing I'm saying, and we'll read a few of those, but this is going to be the last thing I say. Ryan Coogler said in the interview that he received a chest full of Black Panther comics, where he read them front to back before he started directing the 2018 film. And then he went on to say, inaccurately by the way, that throughout the comics, unlike the MCU, we learn that T'Challa loses his father at a young age to Claw. Unlike the MCU, in the comics, he loses his father at a young age to Claw, and then he has to grow up and inherits the throne. No, sir, he earns the throne. He doesn't inherit it. He earns the throne. So what I'm thinking that they're going to do with little TJ, and the only reason that he even brought all that up about the comics and this and that, and there are so many stories leading with T'Challa. He started it with he lost his father and had to grow up without his father. What they are going to do, I've said this, they're going to take those stories, they're going to take T'Challa's story and inject little TJ into T'Challa's place and have him play out those stories. Why else start the interview with, well, in the comics, T'Challa lost his father at a very young age and had to grow up without his father and navigate through the world without his father. Why do you think he started that interview that way? He's foreshadowing what he's about to do with TJ. So TJ is, as that article just said, they have no plans. They're clearly, they don't want to. You have your T'Challa. I wanted to come on here today because I wanted to apologize to you guys for my just how I was on Friday. I'm sorry. I was not here. I was thinking more than anything. I was still trying to process everything. It was just it was not the right time for me to talk about it. But I had time today. So I wanted to come in, and I definitely wanted to talk about that with you guys. And I know and I appreciate. At one point we had like 230 something people here. And I appreciate, and I hope that people like Desiree and others that might have had things to say, I hope you learned today.
Hey, I'll get
and I hope you were entertained.
Corey was even, I mean, that's the thing. We're never trying to, if...
I have no problem having a civilized conversation with you. I have no problem trying to educate you on something that you may not know. Mm-hmm. But then, but in Desiree's case, when you come in on that type of tone, I'm not educating you anymore. You're in my house. Right. Literally.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that's the thing. So obviously we're not going to be right about everything unless we have receipts to show that we're right about it. But I mean, on opinion-based things, nobody's going to disagree on it. Nobody's going to agree on everything. We don't care that you have disagreements. I ain't going to come at you for it. But I mean, at the same time, Corey's a great example. We sat there and explained some things to him, but the last comment I saw is he said a recast actually would have been great, and it would have. That's what we're here to do. That's what we're here to explain to you. But
yeah. It is what it is. We'll touch on some of these quickly. And I apologize, guys, because we were longer winded than I planned for us to be. I planned for us to kind of stop at one moment and be able to get into these comments. We're going to be able to read some of them, but the only reason I say, and I'm going to keep this up so that we can go back through here and kind of answer some of these in a live stream where we're just answering questions rather. But I'm going to leave this up so that we can, because I feel bad when we're not able to answer everyone. Just for us over here, it is snowing outside. But I don't think it's going to be enough snow to cancel work. You don't work tomorrow, but I do.
I got to get the boy to school bright and early.
So yeah, I definitely
I'll be up at 6 a.m.
So yeah, let's read some. Let's read through some of these really quickly, and then I guess we could take it back up to Let's start it at where Corey stopped and said Recast T'Challa would have and should have been great. Let's go down from there.
If I can find it.
You'll start with Latrice that said give the proceeds of the movie to cancer research. Yep, /support if you're going to make exactly. Chadwick Boseman has a whole fucking Chadwick Boseman Foundation. You wanna honor Chad? You wanna make it look like you actually give a fuck about Chad? Since you didn't do what he wanted in Recast. But see, that would be, I love that idea, Latrice, but see, that would be hitting Marvel too hard in the pockets. They don't want that. That's why in all the NBA commercials you've seen the NBA Wakanda Forever commercials, you've seen Chadwick doing the Wakanda Forever sign with Victor Oladipo at the dunk contest. They are profiting off of Chadwick Boseman's death. So yes, I love that comment because that is something that could have been done.
I can't even find where you're at.
I'll read it. It's fine.
I'm trying to catch up.
I'll read it. Hungry Almighty said, I wish the Russos were directing Black Panther, Captain America, Wolverine, and Black Panther are characters I can see the Russos pulling off. I can see the Russos pulling off so much, and that's something we've talked about. We talked about that a little bit about the Russos saying that they weren't going to come back to Marvel at least for another decade with all their projects. I don't know that I believe them. At first, I really did. I was like, damn, a decade? But if you go back to other interviews of them talking about Secret Wars, you go back to other interviews of them talking about them wanting to get their hands on the X-Men, I think they're pulling an Andrew Garfield. Kevin Feige has collaborated with them and said, no, they're not coming back. Now, they still don't have a director for Secret Wars. And Kevin Feige came out recently and said, no, it ain't Coogler. And I'm so glad. And I don't think that that's an Andrew Garfield. I think that that's true. No, it ain't fucking Coogler. I really think the Russos are still doing Secret Wars. And I think that's still going to be yet to be seen, but I really think they are.
God, I think you're up there so high I can't even scroll that high. It's a problem.
DR said, why would Nate even think this was the best route going forward? And how are they going to recast Ross but not T'Challa? Like, I know Red Hulk has a following, but come on. He's getting a recast over T'Challa?
You know, and I would say that's even a stretch saying he has a fall. I mean, Red Hulk does. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and I'm not going to sit here and sideline Red Hulk, because Red Hulk is dope. But he ain't T'Challa, though. You know what I'm saying?
Those stories ain't the same. Completely different stories. If I'm saying this wrong, I'm so sorry, because I know you sent in a super chat. Rise Burbrick said he loves Chadwick, but he wanted Marvel to listen to his brother. He has tons of Chadwick magazines and books and signed autographs from him. Cornelius said,
about his son, yep.
Yeah, yeah, that's crazy, bro. Cornelius said, that's what should have happened, a documentary about the life of Chadwick. What if someone with cancer watches Wakanda Forever and you reminded them of the possibility of death from an incurable disease?
I mean, no, but they didn't think about that. And that's something, too, like
Cornelius said,
we've said that, too. You know, this 2020 special they're doing with Simone Boseman and Whoopi Goldberg and everything. I've said that so many times. Do one of those fucking assembled shows. You could have assembled some shit together and assembled enough people to get in there and talk about Chadwick Boseman, the legacy that he left on Marvel. People in Marvel Studios that either knew him in passing, knew him from being on set with him. You didn't have to know him personally like Letitia and them. Just people from your studio that could tell stories about Chadwick. Chadwick's family. Pull them in. Pull in his brother. Pull in his niece. Pull in his sister. You can pull in his parents. Pull in people that know Chadwick, that can tell you real stories about who that man was. That's how you honor him. And then you put your silent Marvel Chadwick logo over it. You want to honor him. This is not a me idea. This is coming from K-Dot over there. He said, put that intro in front of every Marvel movie for the next few years. Mm-hmm. Put that in. If you want to honor him, do that.
Right.
D Stizzle said some good BP comics, video games, cartoons, action figures should help.
That would be nice. But we even know, even in this new video game coming out, the brother ain't even in his own game. It's not T'Challa. Now we know in Marvel Snap that game they just put T'Challa in there or whatever. But they
I don't know. Right now it just seems like T'Challa's trying to just be completely erased. Cornelius said just stupid. Oh man, I'm gonna say this so wrong. Is it Mesa Danny?
Dyani?
You're so far up I can't even scroll up that high.
You've been here all chat, and I appreciate you being here so much. I'm so sorry. I'm terrible at names. I'm terrible at them. Selfish and closed-minded. And
she must be talking. She's talking about obviously not recasting
him. It was very selfish and closed-minded. Gray said cathartic. What a sick joke.
I mean, hell, that's the word that Nate Moore's been using since he forgot in 2018 when he said in order to first love the Black Panther, you have to love T'Challa.
He's been using cathartic. Be a Blessing said, they need to stop blaming it on misogyny, because I'm a female and it's more females than they think that find this story and plot trash. They should have recast the character, period.
All right, I'm with you now.
Thank you. Be a Blessing. Yes, I completely agree too.
I can take over if you want.
Yeah, you can. That's fine.
Billy Superb said there are so many levels with this situation. The people who can't see.
Ooh, shit,
people who can't see that lack critical thinking skills do what?
No, I'm sorry. I was looking at it. I was like, we got a long way to go.
And are sheep that can think for themselves. Agreed. Let's see here. Gray said, reality in a universe that has a walking tree and a talking raccoon. That's what I say, bro. I mean, you got wizards stepping through portals and shit, dog. Jinx one. Oh, that's when we brought up the whole we go for escapism to these movies, and it's fucking true. Yes. Mr. Orange said, I hope Disney watched this podcast.
Man.
I mean,
it would behoove them.
It would behoove Disney, but it's not like they're not.
Give them a different perspective than their echo chamber. But I mean, you think they give a shit about?
No, they don't give a shit. And it's not like they don't know anyway. I mean, if you could take it back to E-Man's most recent interview, or his only interview with Nate Moore,
Moore was like,
when he asked Nate Moore, what were his exact words? He said, why did you think that it was appropriate to, or no? Asked him, what did you think? What do you think about the recast T'Challa? He was like, it does make sense, all that damn, what's up, all that shit he was doing. I'm like, bro, get it out.
And then we have, let's see here, so Spider since I checked out of Marvel when they did Scarlett Johansson wrong.
Yeah, they fucked her up, bro.
They did.
They really did her
out,
wrong.
but they did. Mr. Orange said they chose to cancel Blade. Now they were fucking Blade up left and right, and the actor was making a big fucking deal about it. Blade ain't over. Blade ain't canceled.
He's coming back.
Legend,
he's still there.
Legend 478 said T'Challa already died in the first Black Panther movie. Dies in Infinity War.
I see how she says it. Okay, I'm sorry. I was reading her pronunciation. Go ahead.
Died for the majority of Endgame, to then come back to life again at the end of the movie, and then die again for Black Panther 2. Come on, Marvel. Nah, no love for T'Challa. No love for my man. And John Smith said, if another actor dies, do we lose another character? Yeah, that's it now. That's it. Hope. Cross your fingers, nothing bad ever happens to Tom Holland. We'll never get Spider-Man again. Or they're all assholes and racist.
And like I said, I really don't want anything to happen to any of these actors, but I would really love for Marvel to take, or for Sony to take Spider-Man and say, nope.
And then we got King of Young Conda over here saying there was 152 people in the chat and only 37 likes. We appreciate you because I actually looked right when you typed that and we went up to 97. Fucking instantly. I mean, I literally was like, damn, I might...
Who said that?
King of Young Conda.
Yeah, I appreciate that, bro, because between him and Chad, they are both always in the chat saying, hey, hit that like button.
Yeah, but I mean, I saw it, and then I was like, I'm going to read that comment, because you were in the middle of saying something, I'm like, I got to remember to read that, and then I looked, and it jumped to fucking like 97.
That's
and I was
cool,
like,
though.
okay.
That's cool.
All
Appreciate you guys.
So, yeah, we appreciate you guys looking out, definitely. Let's see here. Gray just said, damn. But that's Gray, so I'm going to shout him out. Cleva17 said, how can you make a kid's movie where the main character dies in the beginning? I know, it's fucking crazy. Did I not say that before we went? I was like, imagine taking your kid, like, you get your popcorn, you have a good fucking time, and it's like, let's watch a funeral. You know what's better than one funeral? Every dad sitting there, their kid cried, and then another funeral starts. He's like, son of a bitch!
I know.
Another one! What the fuck?
2 fucking funerals.
God, it's like my kid just watched a very tragic funeral. Damn, I hope he never has to see anything like that again. And Disney's like, yeah, guess what?
Yeah, Disney's like, hold my beer.
Dad's like, in the same fucking movie! God, car
beer.
rides home. Sorry I'm yelling, but... and then Misa...
So she put how to pronounce it here. It's
okay, because I'm terrible.
MESA, so MESAD-ON-E.
Misa Dondi? Dondi? Fuck! Dude, that's on me.
That's okay, because we're going to do call-ins, and I hope that you are still a subscriber from us butchering your name.
I
Not
sound
today.
like Jar Jar
Not
Binks
today.
over here. I'm like, Misa.
We're going to do call-ins on the next T'Challa conversation, so we can get some of you guys' thoughts, and I hope, again, prayerfully, that you're still a subscriber after we, if you even are a subscriber after us butchering your name, you can call in and set us straight on how to...
Call me fucking Jar Jar Binks.
Yeah, you can call me Darius if you want. So you can get it wrong too.
Call him Dacian. People don't understand though. This is Veil Superbs. People don't understand the power of symbolism. Every single bit of marketing were exposed to carefully considered and chosen. There are no accidents when it comes to art. T'Challa dying is symbolic. Of course it is. They just wanted to make money. And Theo B said 3 months and 4 days too soon. Kevin Feige announced a sequel 3 months and 4 days after Chadwick's passed too soon.
Yep.
Wasn't the mention of a sequel 3 months and 4 days too soon? If you can't figure it out yet, it was too soon.
That's one of my... Theo said that when we were all live with Chillmonger, and when he said... I loved when he said that, because that shit is so fucking true, bro. It's true.
And then Double M said, I would rather have recasted and gave Chadwick a beautiful send-off after the credits. Agreed.
Yeah.
Jules PDX said they couldn't hold off the movie because of other projects behind it. I don't want to hear that shit. They change things all the time. And also, this movie was so disconnected from everything involving the MCU, other than a Riri Williams cameo, which did nothing and could have been put in anywhere in any fucking movie.
And this film did nothing to further the mythology of the MCU, so it doesn't affect anything on the timeline.
Like literally, that's the point of the problem here. T'Challa died, and we didn't have any other heroes show up. Moving on. I'm going to go again.
I'm sorry, last one there. The last thing I'm going to say to that. And not only that, we saw them push back Blade because of the drama with Mahershala Ali. Mm-hmm. I mean, we've seen Marvel push back things time, and they just push back Secret Wars. Like, what?
And real quick, I'm going to hop to this. I'll go back up, but I'm realizing as I'm going down, it's meeting me. But I just wanted to say here, Daniel Rodriguez said, and thank you, $10 super chat.
Oh yeah, we appreciate you, bro.
So happy with these super chats. Y'all are crazy, man.
We appreciate it, bro.
The same company that want to lecture us on grief profiting the death of a man who died of cancer is one that makes jokes about cancer in another movie, L&T.
I'm not sure on the L&T.
Both cases disgust me. Yeah,
I agree with that. I'm not sure on the L&T. You got to fill me in on the L&T, but I definitely agree with that. It's the same company that wanted to lecture us on grief.
Yeah, for sure. And then I said before, I don't need you to teach me how to grieve.
That is so true. Yeah, the same company that wanted to lecture us on grief.
Again, like we've said, I don't need you to teach me how to grieve for shit.
And
then, that is very true. Very true
said
statement.
Hope Coogler doesn't get Star Wars.
Wait, Coogler doesn't get what?
He said, I hope Coogler doesn't get Star
Who said that?
DR.
He better not put his hand on Star Wars.
No, I get when you make your comment that you're for black, right? But like, this man ain't.
Yeah, no.
This man doesn't seem to be for anything other than killing black people on screen. Anyway, Spider Sense said they haven't killed off Miles Morales. My bad, that's Sony.
He might die in Secret Wars. No, I doubt it. I'm joking.
if Ryan's involved, it's like, wow, did they just kill Adam Brashears, Miles Morales, and fucking Suri in the same scene?
Boy, I would go up to where, you know how they where the film is being in that little room.
Yeah,
I'd go take that shit.
Nobody would watch it.
Nobody gets fucking see this movie.
Like, I'm going home. Everybody else needs to do the same.
Let's see here. Dr. Octagon said things are getting pretty complicated now. No, it's very straightforward.
Oh, yeah, brother.
They just need to... Havoc Unbound said, I read a crazy theory that Kang isn't Nathaniel Richards, but is an adult T'Challa Jr. Shut the fuck up. No, he's not.
What's it going to be? Ant-Man.
What's it going to be? No. I'm either going to die in my own movie or I'm going to live long enough to see myself become the villain. That's what fucked up now that I said it out loud. I'm moving on. Hungry Almighty said, just recast T'Challa. Find the best actor you possibly can find. Make a damn good movie. Have a scene where the recast of T'Challa's in the city and saves a kid who has cancer. Symbolize T'Challa. See, even that, you're making it way too fucking involved. Instead, just have the fucking movie and at the end have a moment where he, like... I don't fucking know, stands up and does the, it ends on the Wakanda Forever X over your chest, and then, like, it shows the Chadwick, too, or something. I don't fucking know. Like, you don't gotta make it a whole plot point, because it was never a plot point
to begin with.
The Black Panther storyline.
Right.
Chris Connor, oh, no. Oh, Misa Diani.
Did you say it right?
Yeah, it's Misa Diani.
Oh, okay.
I think so. That's what Chris Connor said. Misa Diani didn't say that, though. Y'all are going to get me fucking in trouble.
Profess the Film Fan
Oh, no, then Misa did say...
Yeah, she broke it down.
Yeah, she broke it down. Profess the Film Fan, not according to Robert Meyer Burnett.
You know what?
Who is that?
I'm about sick of Robert Meyer Burnett. He is one of John's co-hosts on John's show. And I do like Rob. I like Rob. But Rob's take on Recast are shit.
Shit.
Spider Sense, it's okay. I'm going to read all your comments today. Another $10.
Oh, wow, bro.
Spider Sense, it's okay. No. Stop it. I'm actually telling people to stop donating. But he said, talk about connecting stories. Let's just forget
Spider Sense.
About a big-ass celestial raised from the ocean in Eternals, and Namor and his people never mentioned it. Yeah.
You want to talk about pissing? You're pissed that they're drilling for vibranium, but you ain't pissed that there's a giant metal man sticking out of your ocean?
Is he, though? Is he still?
I don't know. They've not talked about it.
What fucking ocean has he been sticking out of other than fucking in Eternals?
They're not talked about it, bro. I don't fucking know.
So you're telling me they're at the fucking UN? They're all sitting there and Wakanda does their big show of bringing in spies, and then like fucking somewhere in the back, like Hungary is like, can we talk about the big metal man? Can we talk about it, please?
Said Hungary's in the back, like, hey. Damn it.
We've had to reroute so many ships at this fucking point, and none of y'all will bring it up. Oh, yes, that's something for the next meeting. Motherfucker!
We'll never Secret Wars. They'll be like, did you know there's a man in the ocean?
No, they've not addressed it. That's been one of my biggest issues with Phase 4. It's just been like, unlike the Infinity Saga, we knew where we were going. With this, we know we're going to Kang, but we don't know how the fuck we're getting there. Like, nothing, like, I don't even want to get on this, but speaking of Robert Meyer Burnett, he said, I think the things that we've been, which I think is just I don't think this is happening. He said, I think that everything we've been seeing in Phase 4 is happening in different universes. No, because they've all connected things. Like we in Thor: Love and Thunder, they were addressing in Spider-Man they addressed New Asgard. They addressed New Asgard on one of the on the news. It was on the TV, but they didn't there was no dialogue with it. But it was the headline for the news. Talking about New Asgard. No, we've seen them connect. Like, I don't think all this shit's happening in different universes.
Holy fuck, there's still 125 of you people in here.
Yeah, it's dope.
But Spider, if you donate again, I swear, I'm going to be so mad.
What's the...
Oh, man.
I think we're at Dr. Octagon. At the bottom of... oh, no, we still have Ruben here.
What the fuck is Ruben? Where?
Ruben Thomas says, it's a story where T'Challa became... the herald of of eternity and fought Kang. Maybe they're going down that route, but with the Infinity Gauntlet, maybe. But with Doctor Doom coming to the MCU, I doubt that. I really don't know, bro. I really don't know. As of now, from what that article said, no T'Challa. Then we got
Doctor. I'm back.
Yeah, Dr. Octagon.
This seems stupid from a business perspective, but what do I know? Black Panther was a big phenomenon. They're just like, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. The big issue is, like, let's talk 5, 10, 15
My guy, Sir Yuri
future,
G.
Like,
appreciate you, bro. He said it's at 100
it's 116 likes now.
Likes now. Yeah, 160 or 15.
I appreciate all you guys that have been. Once we figure out how to do a moderator thing in this chat, we got to give you know the ones.
Yeah, we appreciate
you
guys
the ones who are always fucking rocking with us too. It's super dope. It's honestly kind of shocking to me. Let's see here. Ultra Heroics said Marvel is probably drooling at the chance to replace Peter Parker with Miles Morales. Why? They're just gonna kill him.
I wouldn't honestly. I wouldn't put that past them to be drooling at it because Marvel is so, except for when it comes to T'Challa, is so keen on making sure that that representation matters to them.
Yeah, they're doing. Yeah.
I mean, we saw it in Miss Marvel. We saw it in Moon Knight. We've seen it in. With the Jew, him being Jewish and everything. We've seen it in Shang-Chi. Representation clearly does matter to them in some things.
That's a good point. So I question anyone taking children to this movie. Agreed. Do you have the link for the Discord, by the way? You want to drop it in there for everyone?
That's some traumatic shit.
Mm-hmm. For sure. Let's see here. And Misa said her name is literally how it's spelled. She doesn't know how to explain it. It's our fucking fault. I told you from the bottom. It's us.
Yeah, she said I don't know how to explain it. I'm so sorry. Oh, God, that's funny.
Let's see here. Yeah, Dr. Artigan said the sequel had nothing to do with the comic. Let's see here.
Did someone ask for the Discord?
No, I just wanted to go ahead and put the Discord in there so you guys can join, chat with us, join the community, all that fun stuff. Let's see here. Del Davis said, thank God WB had the balls to cast another Joker. We would have missed out on Phoenix's amazing performance. Thank you.
Yep.
And then everyone kept saying
That's
Thor
so
Love
true,
and
man.
Thunder for a while.
I wonder if they were talking about pushback. Did Thor: Love and Thunder get pushback? I can't remember if it did.
Do well, yeah. The director, like Taika Waititi, said he's done after this one.
Oh no, yeah, we're all happy about that.
Yeah, but I'm saying it got pushed back enough that he was like, nope, fuck that, I'm out. So, let's see here. Secret Wars, Love and Thunder. I hope not. Pookie said, why not? Cooler is basically Kathleen Kennedy of the MCU. Y'all gotta fucking stop.
Yeah, he is. We just gotta.
Let's see here. Dr. Octagon said it's madness. Let's see here. Last one, Mike and Gemini King said, "What's up, guys?" So I seen the movie Saturday night. Man, let me tell you. Yeah, we've been talking about it, Gemini King.
Man,
glad to see you here.
Gemini King, let me tell you.
Then Raymond said, like I said before, it is very anti-black of someone to be against recasting black characters when they can count which Batman actors they think are better than George Clooney.
Right.
Yeah. And let's see here. Misa said it was close enough. See, we're reading these comments and you got my friend. It's just Misa from now on, okay?
All right.
That's all we're going here because we're not up to date with the comments. We're reading back a little bit, so we're just gonna keep. Okay. Oh, I thought that was Spider Sense donating again. I was going to throw the fucking laptop.
No,
dude.
but we did get one. We did just get a super from Havoc Unbound that said, "How do you think they'll handle Black Panther 3? Do you think Wakanda and Talokan versus the world is a good plot and having the Thunderbolts involved?"
I think that I think that's the route that they're going to go. I don't know if Talokan is going to be involved, but they are definitely going to do the route where it's going to be the United States, possibly Thunderbolt Ross and the Thunderbolts against I'm not saying I don't know if the Thunderbolts are going to be involved, but it's definitely going to be them against Wakanda.
Any of these stories. That's what I want to see for a Black Panther 3.
Sorry, I had to make the point. Like, I want to see comic accurate T'Challa. I was bitching the other day because he hasn't worn his fucking cape yet. Like, the cowl or whatever, you know what I'm saying, that he has. It's not really a cape because it has the up part too. But, like, I want to see a bald fucking T'Challa with his shades on and a nice fucking suit. And when he steps between buildings like fucking Spawn, he is the goddamn Black Panther. The comics is what I want. I don't know how the MCU is going to do it, but they're not going to do it right if I have any opinions on it.
Let's see, where were we? Last of my kin, Gemini King said the first scene coming in upset me. Yep, bro. Like that first scene is why I'll never watch that movie again. That first scene is literally why I will never watch that movie again. No. What was the expectation on that? Or explanation on that?
They didn't give one.
When do you think Kazar will appear?
You know, he was supposed to appear in Multiverse of Madness. He was rumored to appear in Multiverse of Madness. I'm not sure when, honestly. I'm honestly not.
Hey, Misa here said, can y'all get Rob and E-Man on to debate? If you actually go through our previous videos, it's not a debate, but Darius here did go live with E-Man, Back of the Bus reviews.
And here coming up, I guess I'll go ahead and spoil this.
If you follow us on Twitter, you might already know, but we are about to be doing myself and fellow Recast Avengers. That's what we've been called before. We've been called the Recast Avengers. We are going to do a mass stream where it's not just me, E-Man, and Back of the Bus with Marcus and Josh. It's going to be me, Theo, Back of the Bus. If we can get, I haven't talked to E-Man about it, but if E-Man's interested, E-Man, Chillmonger. Who am I missing? I'm missing so many people. Be Real with D-Real.
Was it Movies Blog or?
Movie Blog. K-Dot, Spoiler Kings, The Dark Guru. Like there's so many of us that are going to get on here and do a mass live stream where we just go the fuck in. Mm-hmm. Because
I'm telling you,
you put all of us on one stream.
I think we done caught up to these comments. I think they just keep commenting.
They do. Let's see.
Yeah, Sir Yuri G. Priest's runs are my favorite ones of Black Panther. That's what I was saying earlier.
Yeah.
Like, Enemy of the State is fucking dope, dude. I also like see Wakanda and die, but...
Spider said, will Disney give Ryan Reynolds creative freedom to go...
Oh, yeah, they have, bro. They have given him all the freedom to go all out on Deadpool. Like, the writers even said, as of now, there's not been anything we've put in here that Disney has said no. And they said, we've got some shit in here. And there's not been anything that they've said, no, you can't do that. Because one of the things with Ryan Coogler, one of the things with Ryan Reynolds was, I only come back if you allow me to do it the way that it has to be done. So yeah, bro, it's one of my most anticipated. I
Can't wait for it. But we do have a lot. There are like, bro, they just keep coming. And again, we appreciate you guys for continuing to send in so many comments, because I mean they're going, and we want to talk with you guys for sure. D Quinn said they said the same thing about Daredevil being all over She-Hulk. But yeah, like I said, J. Rob said, "Oh yes, see Wakanda and Die was excellent. We'll never see that
either." That's true. We won't. I know that one that you're talking about, but we won't. We're not gonna see any of that. I'm not seeing any of that. But like I said, it is late here for us, and we appreciate you guys. We really do.
Appreciate you guys hanging out with us. I really wish I could go through and read all of these. But we are back here tomorrow.
We definitely do need to pick a day of
to where we can just chat with people. Open mic. That's what I want to do. An open mic
Have
thing.
one or two topics if things are going slow for a minute. If we need to fill the space.
Well, I actually want to make that me and Kellen were kind of talking about this. I want to make that a day, whether that be a Wednesday or a Thursday. Instead of coming in and doing topics, we can do a stream where we are either talking about different movie topics. Like when I say movie topics, I'm like we can have the debate of the Dark Knight trilogy. It's one of my favorite debates. Like, where do you rank all of them, and how good do you think they are? Because me personally, I think the third one is just not.
Yeah, no, it goes 3-1-2.
Yeah,
like from bad to good.
Yeah.
So
things like that, discussions like that. But I also want to do like an open mic day like that, where we could weekly do, or every other week maybe, do a open mic
where you guys can come in. You can ask us anything. It doesn't have to be. We can talk about anything. It doesn't have to. Yeah, and honestly, not just that. DJ F and Nice, what he just said, an open mic Zoom. Yeah,
we also are gonna have.
If you join our Discord, if you are in our Discord,
I actually just fucking posted.
Yeah, if you click the link in the Discord there, that's how we're gonna. When we do call-ins,
you can call in from the Discord there, and you'll be able to express what you think and everything that thoughts that you may have on whatever on the topic may be on the live stream, and we can talk that with you guys. But like I said, that's definitely something we want to do. Sir Yuri G said, off topic, if I had my choice for a new BP comic writer, it would be Jason Aaron or Hickman. Yeah.
I would say Hickman
handled T'Challa well too.
Yeah, but Hickman also he covers a lot of bigger.
He does.
I mean, it's multi-hero, multi-character, long-range plot. I feel like Jason Aaron would go in on T'Challa.
Yeah,
probably so. But like I said,
these are all things we want to do.
These are all the ideas we have, all things we are going to do with you guys. We are live. We are back here tomorrow, 7:30. We are back here Wednesday, 7:30. And then Thursday, I have a stream I have to do with another creator. I'll tell you about it.
So yeah, we'll be back, guys. Like I said, I appreciate you guys being here. I definitely wanted to come back in today and just kind of
give thoughts on how I really felt about Wakanda Forever. I know we didn't go into, breaking down Wakanda Forever. We stayed on that opening scene, but for me, it just stops there. It stops at that opening scene for me. Namor's great. Don't get me wrong. Namor's cool. Oh, bro, he's cool. Mm-hmm. It's just it's like I've been saying, but T'Challa. So yeah, we appreciate you guys. We will be back tomorrow. I hope that you guys all have a good night and stay safe wherever you are. And I hope that you guys have a great rest of your week, a good day tomorrow. And we'll be back with you guys tomorrow. So, as I always, there it is. There I'm messing it up. But as I always say, we appreciate you guys being here. I mean, none of this can be done without you guys. We got $62 in super chats. That's insane.
I was not keeping
that is insane. I appreciate that is so appreciated that you guys rock and fuck with us that hard.
Absolutely.
That is so. We will
Spidey, you're not allowed to donate for a while.
We will be back tomorrow, and as I always say, hope you guys subscribe. If you love this, share this with your friends, and we will see you guys in the next video. Talking all the things that you guys love. We'll see you guys later.
Or you're getting better at it.
Yeah, I told you I'm getting better at it. You know what? I meant to have music on to play music as I was going out. But you know what? Is it too late to give y'all a little something?
What is it?
Let me see. I was just gonna play a song for them to have a song on the way out.
No, we know the mic's on. Oh, that's fucking cute.
We really are leaving. I'm so sorry. We really are leaving. Q, fuck off. But we really are leaving.